Hey everybody, welcome to Lula's Labyrinth. I'm Lula Kelly. I have decided to change things up a bit for a while. I'm going through a lot of my own personal stuff. It's really heavy out there, as most of you know, our regular tribe. Hello, Panda Tribe, and welcome to the new subscribers. And thank you to those who subscribe and for all the likes and the comments and the donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am in gratitude for everything that you do for yourself, for the tribe, and of course for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going through so much heavy stuff right now. Like, I feel like a human filter for the collective. And I've said that before, that I feel like empaths are kind of like the, the liver of the soul, so to speak. Like we have to wash out and flush out a lot of shit. And when we're sick, it's hard for us to do that. And so, I don't know about you guys, but like I have been like just fighting so much stuff and a lot of personal stuff, and like just a lot of stuff's been coming up for me. And so I thought, you know what, the kind of person that I am, or that I feel is comfortable for me, I don't want to say like put any past, present, or future, but like what feels good for me is when I'm taking care of other people. I have found that when I'm taking care of other people through spirit, I'm also taking care of myself, because like I'm a natural Reiki, right? So right now I call upon the benevolent creator and say thank you, thank you, thank you for this powerful Reiki energy that is flowing through my body, my mind, my soul. It's coming out of my hands strong onto the collective, strong into the galaxies, onto this earth. So many powerful things are happening at this time. So many veils are being pulled back. And so right now, I'm just going to be a clear channel. I started out, I am Lula Kelly, of course, but like right now, I have a lot of energies working through me. And the best way for us to work with this, you guys, is to let it flow through and out and back into the ether, back into the collective, into the abyss, whatever you want to call it, and let it recycle and be reborn again. So I said to Spirit, how may I serve? How may I serve? And this is how I'm going to serve for a little while. There are a lot of powerful mediums, a lot of great light workers out there doing what I'm doing. But I can tell some of them need a fucking break. And I feel like the rest of us, I don't know about the rest of us, but like when I say us, I can feel like this real push of the collective that is like, banding together, that's saying, okay, you know what? How I heal is by working with all of you, by learning your lessons. Because we are mirrors for each other, there's always going to be some type of reflection back to me. There's always going to be something that I can learn from it, right? So for all of us, we're all here to teach each other. We're all here to help heal one another. My Sagittarius and my full moon in Scorpio is just like, she wants to come out in full force, and I'm trying to figure out how to filter that energy in a positive way. So, thank you for being here. The timestamps will be below. As always, take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. These are mass readings for the collective. They're timeless. It doesn't matter. It may come into play what day it is right now, but I'll just say that this is the beginning of June 2020, hovering around, still feeling the energy of the full moon in Sagittarius. Whew! This eclipse, we're getting into this eclipse season. It's heavy. I'm feeling the weight and the pull from you guys. Like I'm feeling it on my heart, my mind, my soul. That's why I'm feeling like I don't even really want to put myself on the camera too much, because I feel like there's a time and place for everything. And right now, I kind of feel like I need my own anonymity. I mean, obviously y'all know what I look like, but I'm just saying, like, for myself right now, I feel like I am the storyteller, I am the channel, I am the guide, I am the shaman, whatever languaging people want to put on it. I am stepping up. Let's put it this way. I don't think of myself as like a shaman. I'm just stepping up into a teacher shaman role that I was brought here to do. There are many of us in the collective that were brought here to do that. So there's not any of us that are above, below. We are all the same. We just have different gifts. So if my energy resonates with you, that's awesome. If it doesn't, there are so many readers on YouTube. So please, please, please go and find them. That doesn't mean you're not still in our tribe, right? Like my energy and my readings are going to shift and change just as I am shifting and changing. And I am in a serious fucking flux of change right now, you guys. I'm going to put this out there, and just because it may come up in the readings, because anybody who knows me and follows this tribe knows that I say it like it is, and I don't like to hide things or whatever, but I do like to have some privacy. But I will tell you that for now, Ed and I have decided to be solo. It's interesting how you can have like such a magical time with someone and it feels like everything's great, but then when reality sinks in and when certain things keep coming back, that is when we decide, are we going to keep moving forward, or are we going to learn from this lesson and move on? Also, there is a huge difference between loving somebody and being in love with someone. It's a big difference, and we have many soulmates. Some people believe there's only like one twin flame. I don't even know if I believe that at this point. But maybe it's because maybe I haven't met my twin flame yet, and I'm doing the air quotes just because, I just think it's subjective. I think it's fucking subjective. I think it's all subjective. I think love is so messy and complicated and beautiful and divine and a blessing. And we are divine, loving light beings having a human experience. So as we keep evolving and growing, we cannot promise anything to each other from one day to the next. And that is what we're learning right now, is attachment and detachment. And how I find myself, how I work best with myself is when I'm being totally fluid and totally transparent. And I've been finding lately that I don't know. Also, I'm a Sagittarius, right? And so is the full moon in Sag. So talk to me, in an hour from now, a day from now, a week from now, a month, a year, whatever, it's like, it's going to fucking change. It's all going to change because, like I said, we are here to change, evolve, and grow. And we are in karmic energy. We are in tons of retrogrades right now. There is so much going on, astrologically speaking, so much so that I've been trying to educate myself, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've been taking notes on things. I'm going to read things to you guys, because even though I am a medium and I'm a channel, I do not need the props. I actually started backwards. I started reading for people without any props whatsoever, just me and spirit and a pen, and just basically, well, I don't know if that's not, actually my spirit guides are like, that's not true. I always had crystals and stuff. Like let's just say when I read in person, like when I worked at Psychic Sister in Olympia, Washington, support your small businesses when they open. Please support Psychic Sister in Olympia and Dumpster Values, and I can go on and on and on. Support your local communities where and when you can, online or in person. Help protect them in peaceful protest, all that good stuff. But anyway, when I used to do that, I would have things like this, like exactly how you see this. I would set it up like this. Like people would come to my readings, they're like, dude, this is awesome. Or even like people that work there would be like, oh, I love when you come and bring all your fun little props. So I always did this. This is always who I was, right? I always said to Spirit, like, help make me a beacon of light to all those who need to, hear your message. And I think some things have gotten lost in the translation along the way, for myself. And it's not about, Edward or myself or he and I together. It's just everything, right? So the more I have shut down my relationships with people that weren't healthy for me, and the more that I have decided to really sink into my solo life again, I'm hoping to not find the answer, so to speak, right? Because we're always going to change and evolve and grow. But, maybe coming to some conclusions about things, or, releasing and letting go of things. And I feel like even though the Sagittarius moon is waning and going away, and we're, going, into the new moon, which will switch over into Cancer, it's also really powerful that we've got another eclipse around the new moon, and then around the new moon, and then I believe it's on the new moon, but don't quote me. See, I'm not an expert. That's the thing. I'm not an expert, right? I'm just somebody who, this is my truth. This is what I know. This is what I feel is my life's path, right? But we all have gifts and we all have things to learn about ourselves. So we are going to consistently grow and move forward. So anyway, with that being said, I feel like I'm rambling on. Actually, I feel like one of my spirit guides, because I have the funniest fucking spirit guides ever. I swear to God, they're so funny that I know that we are so aligned because our sense of humors are the same. You know, some people would say, "Oh, it's just your higher self." I'm like, "Oh no, no, no! I know my higher self, and I know like these entities that I work with." And I have to interject and say this: that I remember when I was younger. I didn't realize I did this until someone pointed it out to me, and then I asked people, and then several people were like, "Yeah, that's the way you always talk." And I'm like, "I do?" But apparently, I used to always say we. I would always say, "Well, we don't think so," or "I don't think we would do that," and people would be like, "Who's we, man? Who are you talking about?" And I would catch myself. So I would try and speak like a human, right? Like, and say I or myself, but a lot of times I'd say we. And it's because I always had these spirit guides. I never, ever felt like I was alone. I felt like an alien here, but I never felt alone. So I know this is a huge, long intro, and I do feel like I ran on a bit, but I also feel like this is the kind of shit we have to talk about. You know, we have to be real with ourselves and with each other. So the reading that I was drawn to is actually really interesting because it's on the opposite page of this is the book I've been using, by the way. It's such a great book. One of my beautiful sisters, Allie, gifted this book to me. Thank you, Allie. But anyway, we had, this one was A Play with Surprises, was the last one that I did. And then I thought I heard 76 today, and then I heard 13, and I heard all this stuff. And then when I got really quiet and I meditated for a minute, I heard page 56. And when I went to it, I was like, oh my gosh, because it's called Gypsy's Magic Spell. But when I first went to, you know, to go to the page or whatever, this time when we did A Play with Surprises, this was the one I wanted to do. And it's interesting because I felt like the tribe, we were called to do this, which is technically, this is the second one, right? Like this would have been the first one, but it's not, because, you know, and I'll reference this one. I'll put a link below. But my stuff's pretty much in order. I don't know how it looks to the public, but to me, it's that way. And also, I think it's interesting that, you know, they're kind of, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's the same here for the Gypsy's magic spell. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's almost like this weaving, like, you know, lacing, or even like a zipper, you know, but you kind of got to go, the teeth have to go every other way, right, for it to like come together. So I feel like that metaphor was like brought together for a reason. So was this knife. I feel like it's our Gypsy Witch. I called in our Gypsy Witch ancestors. Thank you for being here. And they're like, cut through the bullshit. Like, they're so tired of it. Me too, you guys. Like, me too. It's so humbling. I told you I've been eating humble pie. The full moon in Scorpio, my moon's in Scorpio, and I'm mostly Sag. So, like, to have the full moon in Scorpio, to, like, the, this whole series is like, what the fucking fuck, man? It's like I got balls of steel to put myself, because it's my soul contract, right? Like, my soul is like weaved into this shit, and I'm like, seriously, I have no problem saying I must be one badass motherfucker, because however I come out of the end of this is like I feel like I'm gonna really come out like strong and be my best self. So, and just so you know, when I did the last reading, I actually was called to go back and choose one of the spirit animals. It was so fucking cool to actually watch my reading back like that, especially because sometimes when I'm channeling, I lose myself. Like, I'm totally somewhere else, man. 1413, by the way, they had me call it that number. Oh, I love it. And there is just like some serious like magic going on, like some serious magic going on, you guys. And I feel like we need to sift through and cut through the bullshit, like step away from social media, step away. I want to go back on my Instagram. There's like a part of me that wants to be a cheerleader so bad, that wants to go on there and like post shit and like speak my truth, and like that's how I do that, because I don't have the physical capacity to go into a protest. My body like just goes off, like I feel like I have bombs going on inside of my body when there's that much energy around me. And so they're like, no. I'm like, this is the way I'm doing it. I'm helping people find their truth, to speak their truth, for the people that can do that and other capacities. But for me right now, it ain't working. So this is a very, 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 very cool layout, you guys. So I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to do a short meditation, and then, you know, we're going to start. So the first one, this one up here at the top, is you. The second one is, this is your defense. The third one is, this is what you are afraid of. The fourth one is, this is what drives you. The fifth one is, this is what you are left with. Number 6 is, this is what the future will bring. And the culmination, number 7, is, this is what brings you back down to the ground. So this is a classic layout that has many different variations. So because I don't have the capacity to like build this cool, like, you know, pyramid, I'm just going to do them straight across. Okay, so all right, you guys, we're going to do a short meditation. You may have already know which ones you want. Ooh, throat chakra. Drink some water. Drink some water. Whew. You ready? Take some deep breaths. Do whatever breathing feels good for you. Open your body up. Close your eyes. Free your mind. Let go of all that ails you. Concentrate on the bell. Opening up and clearing all of your chakras. Breaking away all the darkness around your energy field that doesn't belong to you. Cutting ties with all that was so that you can live all that there will be. Opening up your heart, mind, and soul and your sacral chakra to set you free. Now open your eyes. The first card that your eyes were drawn to is your message. You may be drawn to more than one pile. We have the 2 of clubs, the Ace of hearts, the 2 of spades, the 8 of hearts, and the 3 of diamonds. This comes from a very old deck. It's one of the oldest decks in the world. It's called the Gypsy deck. Or the Gypsy Witch fortune teller deck. It's really inexpensive. I think I got it for like $7 on Amazon. I've been having to order things more because I don't have a way to, you know, get to places or whatever. Anyway, so it's a fun deck. It's an interesting deck. I am learning a lot about this deck. So it's a new deck to me. I'm also working really closely with the numerology through the tarot, and so you're going to hear me reading from things, because it's really important that I feel like the more I read things, the more it resonates with me, and then it'll also resonate with you, right? You'll remember it more the more we're learning together. And some of you, I feel like, oh, I am your teacher, right? Just like I am teaching myself and other readers are teaching me. It's like I'm teaching you. And there's a lot of you that you already know. Like you'll look at it, you'll know it before I know it, right? Because our gifts are different, or we're in tune with different things, whether it's through pictures or numerology or sense, crystals, whatever it is. So anyway, so I'm feeling this pull to go backwards, so to speak. And so I am going to start. Like I said, I don't want to number them. just yet. Like, they'll have their numbers, but I don't want to say like pile, whatever. In fact, since this is the 3 of diamonds, it's like it would just be timestamp, 3 of diamonds. It's also number 48, which could be the number 12 for some of you. The number 3 may resonate with you. It could also be, if you added all of them together, it's the number 15. I mean, all together, it's the number 6 and goes down to the lowest denominator, which is the number 3. Okay? And on this card, it says, the money safe indicates riches. If shut side is toward the person, it denotes loss by speculation. And so I think this is like, in your heart space, like, what did you see? Did you see it open first, or did you see it like, did you look at it? It's like the half glass full kind of thing. And so this is you. This is the number 1 card, and this is what Spirit is like wanting you to like look at the imagery of this card. Are you a glass half full person? Are you a glass half empty person? And neither one of them is positive or negative, really, because even though we need a positive, I meant to say number 1, or this is if you pick this pile, this is your reading, but I kind of feel like that was implied. I will get better on like I'm learning. I've been watching and paying attention to some of the best readers on YouTube to learn. So forgive me for not being, this kind of perfect reader yet, but I'm working on it. 2103. Okay, so a lot of numerology in this reading. So do you hear what I'm saying? It's like we need positive and negative, right? We need the balance. So it's like if you are the type of person that looks at things half empty, it's like, do you feel like, so Spirit wants you to ask yourself, and it's not a negative, is that because you think you feel empty inside? Or is it that you just are more of that person that you feel more grounded, like that's your reality? Does that make sense to you? That like, that makes you feel more safe? Because that's what I'm getting from Spirit, is that you feel more safe if you know that it's like that you have more to go, like that you have more to work for. And I feel like if you're somebody on the other side that looks at it as a glass half full, then that's awesome. It's like you're like the positive, like it's kind of like they're saying it's like the signs, right? Like you have earth, air, fire, water, right? So we have some that are mutable and some that are not mutable. And we need each other, right? Ooh, interesting. I didn't understand this, but the other day I found this imagery and Spirit had me do a picture. So I love this. And if any of you are interested, my information is in the About section, and you can email me. It's easy though. It's lululabyrinth@gmail.com. You can email me and I can take a picture of this for you, or I'll find this image for you. That's a little better than mine. If you want it, because it's been really cool for me. So basically what this is it's supposed to be like a pentacle in the middle, and then it's like these circles represent metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. So it's the 5 elements, right? It's not just the 4 signs, right? I'm doing 3 now. I'm doing 3 quotes. Anyway, so it starts out at metal, right? And it says metal, and it goes to an arrow, and it says metal produces water. Here's water. And then the arrow goes to water, and then to wood. And then it says water produces wood, right? Because trees grow because of water. So it's like, are you getting this? So it's like metal produces water, and then water produces wood, and then wood yields fire, and then fire generates earth, and earth produces metal. And it's like this kind of like, it's the circle of life, but it's like the energy, right? And so we need it. We need each other. However, if you look at it the other way, it says from the top here under metal, it says fire defeats metal, right? Because you can actually, like this piece of metal, this knife, this iron was forged when it was so hot, and there's, blacksmiths, that's what they do, right? So because when metal is gets to a point that's so hot, it can actually melt all the way. And you can't even imagine that, right? Because it seems so sturdy and hard and, you know, I don't want to, you get it, right? It seems so hard. But, like, here's the wood, right? And let's see what wood says. And metal conquers wood, right? Because I can chop this wood with metal. Because if you make this sharp enough, did you see where I'm going with this? And so it's like earth suppresses water, metal conquers wood, water conquers fire, and wood defeats earth. So it's like, so it's like if they work against each other, then that's not in the harmony of nature, right? But we can utilize these techniques to make our lives better. Does that make sense? And so I feel like that's what they're saying, like, about you guys. So this is a very interesting, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm like, what's going on with that? Okay, so number 2, so here's your pile. And we may pull from other decks for clarifiers. So number 2 is, this is your defense, okay? So this is your defense. Oh, wow. That just, like, I felt like it, like, yanked out of my hand. Breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. Wow. Okay, so this is your defense. And meaning, like, maybe you're using it as a defense, saying, well, you know what, I just can't right now, or I can't blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I feel like they're like, yes, but, like, you're the one holding you back. I feel like this is my pile. I feel like this is a message to me. You know, so self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. So if there are things that you know are really bad for you, you have to let them go. Even if it's difficult, you know, you have to let them go. Again, I feel like this is for me right now, and I'm not trying to make this about me, but oh my gosh, it's like I'm like trying not to get emotional. That's why I'm like, I think this might be my pile. Although I'm also feeling emotion for you guys as an empath. But I feel you also as an addict. I mean, in the last week or so, the crazy shit I've done, like, I dyed my hair blue again, but it, like, went to purple, and now I don't like it, and just all of these things. And then, like, you know, and then I, like, chewed my nails, like, down to the nub, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, all this nervous energy, like, just because I'm working through so much dark shit. And it was almost like it's like I'm trying to, like, find all these ways to, like, lose myself, but I can't lose myself. I'm still here. I'm still present. And it's like, that's what I feel like they're trying to say to you as well. Like, you're here and you're present, and you cannot run away from, like, yourself. No matter how hard you try, if you don't get through what you need to get through, you're not going to come on the other side of it. You're going to keep having these problems. And if you notice how, like, the words kind of went out, and it's like, it's just the imagery and those 3 diamonds. Diamonds are also pentacles in the tarot. So I want to talk about that for a minute, because I've been learning a lot, you guys. It's actually really fascinating, and I have, like, a seriously whole new respect for tarot readers and card readers. And boy, I have really been a dick before about it. I mean, seriously, like, I'm in such, like, I bow down to them, because this is it's a beautiful divination tool, and it's also something that should be honored and cherished. And I think I was being an arrogant prick about it, and now I'm seeing, like, the error of my ways kind of thing. So again, I'm sharing this with you because maybe you guys are feeling like that, like you're having a lot of humble pie recently. If so, please share in the comments below, because I love to, like, you know, hear that. maybe this one's just for me, who knows, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people going through a lot of the same shit I am. So first of all, the number 3 is about maturity and friendships, emotional connection, and creation. Like, you know, plus, like, 2 + 1 is 3, like, wherever 2 or more gather. But also, like, you know, 3 is all about expansion and growth. And then the pentacles, you know, are about material wealth, money, career, manifestation. So, you know, this whole reading is about you. So, you know, maybe this is we'll see what the other clarifiers say. Okay. So number 3, what is number 3? Okay. Number 3 is, this is what you are afraid of. Oh boy. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. This is what you're afraid of, right? Having to actually say you're sorry, or actually have to eat that humble pie, you know, to actually say, I have more to learn, I have more to do. You know, on the back of this card, it says, I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. Wow. So this is what you're afraid of, right? And the funny thing is, like, you're afraid to let it go, but once you let it go, and this is to me too, I swear I feel like this is my file, but once we let it go, right? So I'm gonna start saying we. Once we let it go, we have enormous abundance that's waiting for us in the background. Or I should say, Spirit's saying, this is waiting for us in the background, so when we own it, it'll come to the forefront. Does that make sense? I know that, I was going to say, I knew they brought this amethyst here for a reason, but I wasn't sure if we were going to use it, and now I see that we are. Ooh, and they had me pull this little side card. Okay, let's see. You want it this way? This way. And for anybody that wants a screenshot of that for this affirmation, go ahead and take a screenshot of that. Or pause it and take a screenshot. But I'm going to keep it on this, right? Because this is about seeking the truth, and it's hard to seek the truth. This just kind of flew out at me, and it says, I affirm that I am totally willing to freely forgive everyone. And Spirit wants me to say, including yourself. Including yourself. On the back it says, I release from within me all bitterness and resentment. I let go of old hurts and forgive everyone, including myself. If you want to take a screenshot of that, right? You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself. This one, they want you to see that at the bottom, to forgive yourself. Okay, number 4, this is what drives you. This is what drives you. This is what makes you get out of bed every day. Literally, one of your spirit guides wanted me to say, this is what makes you get out of bed every day. This is what drives you. Oh, details, details. And holy shit, you guys, in the background, underneath the microscope, it says clarity. Do you see that? Look at my blue fingers, my hair. Oh my gosh, you should see my shower. It's a mess. It's all stained. And oh wait, but I gotta, oh my gosh, I have got to film a video of it, you guys. All I saw was the stain, and then I was getting out of the shower and I'm like, holy shit, it looks like a horse head. It literally looks like a horse's head. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, this is what makes you get out of bed in the morning. Now listen to this. This is gonna blow your noggin, right? This oil, it's right in front of me. It's the only one in front of me. This oil, spearmint, wanted to come in today, and so I'm gonna breathe it in for you. Spearmint is all about clarity. I highly recommend you get spearmint. Get the real deal from whatever provider that you want to get. Get organic. You know, I'm blessed to have sisters that sell doTERRA and Young Living, and so we do trades all the time. But I'm not promoting doTERRA. They're a wonderful company, but that's not what that's for. I don't sell it or anything like that. But if you're interested, I do have people that do. I love it. Oh, sorry about my neighbor. So, right? Like, that's intense right there, you guys. That is intense. This is what drives you, the details. And I'm actually going to read this book. And what is that number 33? Number 43. Well, I was going to say there's a whole other thing with that, but for me, not to make this about me, but 43 is also the number 7, and that's my life number. So I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. For me, I'm like, that's crazy. Okay, so 47. And because it's upright and I feel upright, unless they instruct me to read it in reverse, I'm going to read it upright. Let me get my glasses on. The world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? Oh, I'm reading the wrong book. This is from The Sacred Pool, but apparently I was only supposed to read it up to that point. But still, they're saying, when you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? Holy shit, you guys. That's fucking wild. I looked up number 47 because I had 7 on the brain. That's crazy cuckoo. Details, details. The most powerful patterns are created within the tiniest details. Pay attention. This is the time to be aware of the fine print in all areas of your life. Look at the details and leave the broad strokes for another time. When this card appears in a reading, it's a sign to finesse a project, make small but meaningful gestures, or add a personal touch to your correspondence. Be aware that what you need to know lies in the details. If you're entering into an agreement of any kind, pay attention to them before, not after, when it's too late. So pay attention to them before, not after, when it's too late. Clarity and transparency are key. You can gain great understanding by observing the minute body language You can gain great understanding by observing the minute body language, offhand remarks, and fleeting facial expressions that reveal the larger picture. So you guys, what I got from this right off the bat, because this is number 4, and says this is what drives you. I feel like that some of you, when you wake up, it's like you automatically like go into, like, you're not thinking about your day, like you're not having clarity. You're just like going, some of you, not all of you, but some of you are just like a bat out of hell. Like you get up and you're like, bam, like this has to get done, this has to get done. It's like details, details, details. Like, okay, and you're like already going through, like you're so into your day that you're like not in the moment. And so Spirit is challenging you to be present, to be very, very present when you wake up. Okay, even if your baby is crying, I'm literally getting this analogy. They're saying, like, even if your baby is crying, they're saying, still just take 3 breaths. Take 3 breaths, because that baby will actually feel your energy. Sometimes our energy, even if our energy is like we're racing in our dreams, like we had too much caffeine before we went to bed or whatever our bodies, it's like our bodies are responding to what we're putting inside of them. And it's like when you're going, I just like saw something about this yesterday, like being really cognizant of like what you're thinking about before you fall asleep. And if you are somebody that's in like the monkey mind, then like getting something that you can, like an I am affirmation that is like in the background while you're falling asleep, or something, some type of sleep aid that will help you. Because I'm hearing for some of you, like you're like in the monkey mind until you go to sleep, and then you wake up and it's like it starts all over again. But your family, your friends, your coworkers, everybody around you bounces off that energy. And it's like you almost feel like you have to save the world, but you don't. This has been a difficult one for me too. I'm in this group, right? So at least right now I feel this way. So I know for myself that my shaman gave me this recently, where she said, before you do anything, take 3 deep breaths. So it's like, and however you like to breathe, it could be 3 dragon breaths. It could be just, however, like if you're like somebody that feels good, breathing this. I honestly think that breath work is personal. I've been watching a lot of stuff on it, and I'm like, certain breath work doesn't feel comfortable for me, and certain breath work doesn't feel comfortable at first, but I can tell it's because my bratty side doesn't want to heal that. But sometimes I'm like, that doesn't feel right in my body. So, don't push yourself. Do whatever feels right until you get to another level of breath or whatever. Also, I'm hearing take a sip of water. Okay? So, they say the devil's in the details, but they're like, it's like the positive thinking. And like we can go down the rabbit hole of dark thinking, or we can go up, the rabbit hole of like positive thinking about ourselves. We can be our best friend or our worst enemy. And so it's like, how do you want to show up for yourself? How do you want to show up for others? By the way, this giraffe was meant for somebody. I meant to call it out in the beginning, but whichever reading I'll talk about it, but this was that specifically like wanted to come into this reading. So giraffe may be your spirit animal, or you may be like, oh my gosh, I love giraffes. That is your spirit animal. So either way, research, Google giraffe spirit medicine, spirit animal, and whichever one calls out to you, however many. That's another message that kind of goes along with number 4, which is this is what drives you. And I feel like the spirit medicine to kind of get the monkey mind off is the giraffe. And just the knowing that I know from my not attachment, but my connection to the giraffe is to rise above the situation, and meaning like look at the situation as if it weren't yours. If you're having a monkey mind situation, take yourself out of it and then say, okay, look at it from above and say, how would I look down on this? Like if this were my friend and, or this is my friend, love yourself and say, how would I talk to my friend? How would I help them through this? Does that make sense? So use that energy to help you squash that. Okay, and number five. This one was throwing me off. I feel like we're going to take it away now because I feel like we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's see number 5, which is this is what you are left with. Oh, past life, and it was in reverse. Past lives, release your past life karma. You're an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. And again, I feel like this is what's happening. Like, I don't feel like, Ed's trying to hurt me or I'm trying to hurt him. I feel like both of us know we just can't be together right now. And I don't know if it's forever. I don't know, but it's just a sucky, horrible, fucking shitty feeling when you're like, I think this is a karmic relationship. Especially because I keep bringing up things. Oh, look at grandmother spiders coming in. I love her. She's crawling across my window right now. I love it. Right in front of my face. Thank you, grandmother, right? We're the web weavers. So deal with the past lives, work with your past life. However, if you want to do a reading with me, I would love to help you work out your past life trauma. This has been a big one that's come through for a lot of our tribe members over the last 6 to 8 months. So, look me up, lulaslabyrinth@gmail.com, or you can text me at 503-737-7379. It's in my about information. Also, it's interesting. I feel like sometimes the spiders are on the outside, and today the spider's on the inside. So I feel like that means something too, right? Like it's kind of like, the spider's the web weaver, and it's wonderful, but at the same time, it's almost like our sacral chakra, like where that creative energy flows, like where that like loving connection with ourself flows from the goddess, from the mother, from our umbilical cord, right, from the source of life. It's like if that is blocked and that is disconnected, then everything else is not in flow. So work with your sacral chakra, work with spider spirit medicine, specifically spider spirit medicine, I feel like today, because I'm feeling a real indigenous part from that. So that's number 5. This is what you're left with, right? After all of this is what you're left with. So it's like, this is like, I feel like what they're saying, like, this is like the main thing that we need to work on, because all of these are just deflectors of this, because this is the root of the issue. And number 6 is this is what the future will bring. Yay, we like that. Yay, we get our medicine and then we get good stuff. Yay, look at this. Oh, look at this. Yes, this is what the future will bring. Spreading the light, my fierce warriors. It's so fun for me too, because I pull them before, but I don't look at them before. So it's really fun. It's really fun. Yay, right? So once we, conquer that, plus, I feel like this is about creation and community, and, the 3s are, coming together like with your people to help you work this stuff out, right? I've been thinking about this. I'm still trying to figure out, I want to do something for solstice, but I just don't know. I know it'll come to me when it's meant to, but spread the light. Beautiful, fierce warrior, wonder warrior, I heard. And number 7 is, this is what brings you back down to the ground. This is what grounds you. This is what you need to get grounded. Oh, this is from the Moonology Deck, and it has sorry, I'm showing it this way, but it has two meanings. The Moonology Deck is the mind-body makeover. I like to call it, it's kind of the ego deck. This and the Answer is Simple deck are very much tied into our ego. So on this one is called Healthy Love, number 5, and 5 is all about changes, right? But also, because we're working with the numerology right now, I'm being called to actually talk to you about the number 5. 5 is about obstacles, difficulty, conflict, loss, lack of faith, imbalance, and change. And so this is what brings you back down to the ground. And they're saying, you know, once you overcome these obstacles, right? And they're having me read the card because on one side, it's like what you're thinking, like your muggle mind is like got you in your monkey mind when you're laying in bed at night and you can't sleep, or you're trying to meditate and you're going off to different places and you're in like, look at the monkey mode to like not have to deal with like this shit. This is what your higher self wants you to know. So I'll read you the first part. Your mind, your muggle mind says, if I love someone, it means that it becomes harder for me to speak my mind, especially if I'm angry. Ooh. Your higher self says, in a loving relationship, by taking appropriate action and communicating directly, I can transform any troubling situation, problem, or obstacle. Right? So it's like if we get out of our own way, if we work with this past life energy and heal through the energy, because it's different for all of us, right? We're all going to have a different thing. Then that's how it's going to work, you guys. So I'm going to put this right here. I was just going to say, I don't know if it's going to stay there. So I'm going to put this down here. And there were some other cards that were in here, and so I just want to see if we have any clarifiers. Here we go. So this is from the past life deck. So for some of you that are going through this, all of you at some point were persecuted or were questioned or you were scared, you know, or maybe you didn't speak up for the longest time, and then maybe you said something off the cuff that, you know, to somebody you trusted, and then they in turn told somebody else, and then before you knew it, you were fucking hanging from a tree or you were being burned alive. This is definitely witch medicine. The fact that, you know, we even have like the Making Magick deck, which is this one right here, so witchy. You know, I personally feel like if you were drawn to this reading in particular, you are a gypsy witch, because the fact that the Gypsy Witch Tarot came out, it's like you were a healer of some kind, or a prophet, or a divination proprietor. Like you were somebody who was a channel, but you were persecuted for it. And now with everything that's happening on the planet, right? It's like, it's fucking scary. People are being killed and murdered for the color of their skin. People are being killed and murdered for loving people. So of course, you know, of course there's going to be this, you know, need to like speak your truth, right? But you're feeling this fear, right? Like it's like, okay, like, it's like you want to try and plan it out or whatever. But I'm hearing from Spirit, like, no, you just gotta speak your truth. And they want me to read this again. In a loving relationship, and this is with yourself and the world, by taking appropriate action and communicating directly, I can transform any troubling situation, problem, or obstacle. But you're concerned that, you know, it's like, or I'm hearing like for some of you, this happened with me too recently. Like I spoke out in anger. It's something I've got to work on. It's ugly. Like when I'm mad and I'm angry, I am nasty. If you know me personally, or you've known me in the past personally, you know I can be a fucking horrible, awful, meanie. And, you know, I hit below the belt sometimes, and I don't even mean to. It's just like this darkness that comes out. It's like this venom. It's my Scorpio stinger, man. It's my moon in Scorpio. It's my full moon in Scorpio. So this is something that, you know, we really have to work on. And they're hearing we're going to get some clarifiers. Oh, look at this. Because we're fucking rebels, right? We're rebels. The number 30s. The number 3. We were just talking. Number 3 is about maturity, friendships, emotional connection, creation, you know, expansion, growth. It's time for us to grow up too, you guys. You know, I know for myself, some ways I'm like this kumbaya warrior, and other ways I am like this. I'm going to be like, you know, I said sometimes I see myself as like even though it's a little kid, I see myself as like a little granny. I'm like a thing going, get out of my way. Because I can be so like short-tempered with people now more than ever. And right, it's like it's my gypsy witch that can't fucking help herself, that like it's just like, you're driving me crazy. But you know what? We have to be a little more kind and look at Spirit told me to, and just laugh. We gotta fucking laugh, man. Like, it's tough. I get it. But we also have to remember that this is a game. This is, you know, like we are here to share our gifts with the world. We're here to be our rebel self and be awesome. Like, don't be afraid to be yourself and laugh. And look at that. See how that knocked it down? It knocked it down because this says the money safe indicates riches, right? The riches are waiting for us, but it's like we're afraid to take them. It's like we can't be the light and be rich. And it's like, that's fucking bullshit. And it's like, it's not even about the money being rich. It's like rich in heart and peace and love and all the good stuff on the planet, right? But we're here to seek our truth and speak our truth and fucking share our gifts and maybe a few laughs along the way. So, you know, maybe you're that, you know, divinator that, you know, like myself, it's like just says it like it is and puts the humor out there. We need it. There are some readers that I go to specifically because I'm like, oh, it's like it's warm and fuzzy, right? Like they make me feel good. Excuse me, I just love them. I just want to like listen to them all day long. And then there's other ones I go to that are like fuck and motherfucker and like they say it like it is. So, you know, depending on your mood, it's like that's why we have different people to work with us. So there you go. Beautiful, beautiful 3 of diamond pile. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up wherever you came from in the world. We appreciate you. We, the spirits, the channel, all the people that work through my channel, we say thank you, thank you, thank you for stopping by today. And may all of these blessings that you put out into the world come back to you and myself tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold in all areas of abundance in our lives in which we all need it personally within 30 days of this reading. Whenever you see it, it's timeless. And so I claim it for all of us, and so it is. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Bye. Okay. Oh my gosh. So this is super fun. But you guys, I cannot pause this, and I have got to go to the bathroom. So it's going to be kind of weird. You know, maybe I'll even say like stop it right now and go to the timestamp. But I'm like, I have to go, because if I don't go, I won't be able to do readings properly. So I'll be right back. I wish I had like music to play. You won't hear me. All right, I'm back. If you could only see my setup, you would laugh so hard. But man, we make do, right? We make do with what we have. All right, so we are on to the Eight of Hearts. Eight of Hearts, Eight of Hearts. Oh, I'm gonna eat a little cacao nibs for fuel. All right. Get back into spirit. They never leave, you know. It's just privacy, really. Okay. All right. Welcome, 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 Eight of Hearts. And this card says, it's number 36, which is also the number 9, 8, 9. And it says, the cat indicates flattery. If near number 6, it foretells personal injury. Near 29 and 30, it denotes strife. Ooh, that's interesting. So the Eight of Hearts are also like the Eight of Cups in the tarot. So let me get this in there. I want you to be able to see the picture. It's kind of cute. Okay. Actually, they want me to look at the picture. Aww. It's like, it looks like a mama cat with her baby, and it looks like they're playing with a little ball. Do you see that? I don't know why. There we go. I thought they said they wanted it there. Okay, so this is the Gypsy's magic spell. And it's the number 7. And actually, I didn't notice this until before, that we did this last reading, and this is like the shape of a V. And this one is like a pyramid. And this is the one I was drawn to more last time, but was called to do that one first and then this one. So this is really powerful. So we have 7 cards that we're going to pull. This card represents you. And so there's going to be 7 different, so it's like number 1 is this is you, and it goes zigzag like this, right? Like you're lacing up a shoe or a zipper kind of. So it says number 1 is you, number 2 is your defense, number 3 is this is what you're afraid of, number 4 is this is what drives you, number 5, this is what you're left with, number 6, this is what the future will bring, and number 7, this is what brings you back down to the ground. Okay? So, this is you. Like how you see yourself in the world, basically, right? So, you are the cat, so it indicates flattery. I'm curious to see, let's get some clarifiers. Like, we're gonna put your spread out there first. Here we go. Here's your stack over here. So what is number 2? This is your defense. Number 2, this is your defense. Oh, man, that one just shot right out of there. Oh, and 3 rays of light. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I was thinking it's interesting because 36 is 9, but like the lowest denominator is 3, and it's 3 and 6. And so we've been talking about numerology, and 3 denotes maturity, friendships, emotional connection, creation. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then it also is like expansion and growth. So Spirit wanted me to point that out because in this image, it's like 3 lights going out, right? So maybe you've been seeing the number 3 a lot, or maybe your life number is 3, and I'm feeling a really strong connection to 3. I feel like the 8 is coming out infinity for me, but it's also the 8 of Cups. So if you looked at it like that, the cups are about your emotions, creativity, intuition, and relationships. And 8 is about transformation, progress, the next step, regaining your balance, stability, resolution, mastery, action, accomplishment. So I feel like that's going to come into play as well with the other cards. But for now, they really want us to focus on Awen, the 3 rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. So maybe some of you are struggling with your muggle and your magic. And I heard that like very strongly, like you're you're struggling with your muggle and your magic, as if, and your spirit guides are saying, as if they're different, as if you're not the same as that. Does that make sense? Like, okay, that's very interesting. That's why I'm like, it's one of those things, like, we're gonna do it and then it's all gonna come together. This is the second pile that I'm doing, so it was so fun doing that, and I love doing these like this because as each pile goes on, you kind of like gain a higher like perspective, and more insight on the reading itself, of like how it like kind of unravels like the person and their energy and like what they're working on. It's really fascinating. So for number 3, so this is your defense, right? So your defense is balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. So you're the peacemaker. I feel like you're the peacemaker in your group. Then it says, this is what you're afraid of. Ooh, interesting. Partnership. You're afraid of partnership. And this could be in any capacity, whether it's business, love, but I have a feeling you don't trust people very much. I get a really strong vibe that you have walls built up, defenses, like you're not easily, it's not easy for you to give your power out to other people. It says teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with and build up a talented support team. Or I feel like maybe you have a business, but you don't let go of the reins very much. You're not a good delegator. And then you're too tired and you're like wearing yourself out because you're, in fact, it's funny because the number 8 is also about balance, right? It's like kind of getting your groove back. So it's almost like, I feel like there's like this pattern that you go in, and then like maybe you get to a point where you're like, and then you have to like go and like self-care and take care of yourself. You release the reins for a little while. You let people like take care of you or whatever. And then like maybe something will happen that you're like, fuck, if I had just fucking done it myself, that you would be okay, right? And so you kind of like go back into that pattern. But this is I have a feeling control is your issue too, right? Control is a hard one for all of us. Okay, so that is what drives you. Interesting. And number 5 is this is what you are left with. This is what you are left with. Oh, karmic relationships. So, and it's interesting. Look at that. 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. And I'm hearing Chuck Woolery, I'll be back in 2 and 2. I don't know. I'm really dating my age right now. Some of you are like, who's Chuck Woolery? It was a show called The Love Connection from like the 70s or 80s when I was a kid. But anyway, so yeah, it's like 2 and 2. And also look at 2 and 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. But then look at this. We've got this, 36. And then when you put them together, 3 is maturity, friendships, emotional connection, and creation. And 6 is success, peace, happiness, communion, highly creative, harmony, restored, new opportunities, hard work paying off. So it's almost like, it's like they're trying to show you like 3. Wait, hold on. What did I say? 36? What did you say, Spirit? Oh, they're saying is 9, right? And then they're saying, because if you brought 3 and 6 together, that would give you 9. And 9 is that your goals would be achieved, fortune, success, patience, like you're almost there. It's like, it's overcoming hardships, celebration, all that good stuff. I feel like this is like, because you got some great clarifiers too. So I feel like I'm on a treasure hunt with you guys. Okay, so this is your karmic relationships. It's all this other shit that is like, it's from your karmic relationships. That's what you're dealing with right now. Okay, so number 6 is this is what the future will bring. Ooh, it was in reverse. 31 in reverse is the dry desert. And look at that. She's all by herself. Or they, however you perceive this character. They're by themselves. The bird's by itself. But it was in reverse. So they're going to have me read this card to you guys. This wants to come over here. It's off in the background all by itself over here. 31 in reverse. Ooh, it looks like it's going to storm any minute. Ooh, the lighting is cool. Okay, so 31. 31. Oops. Oh, they said this one goes with that one, but we're going to read it in a minute. Okay, 31. The dry desert. Dig deep for inspiration and truth. Now is the time to become resilient and adaptable. The subject of your inquiry is barren and can't give you anything right now. No matter how beautiful and seductive the shimmering glow of a mirage, this is an illusion. When the dry desert card is reversed, it is a warning not to be hypnotized into thinking you will achieve your desire. This well is empty. Consider the gift here, though. Know that while this is not the right place, person, or circumstance for you at the moment, it means that something much better, more fulfilling, and life-sustaining is coming. Celebrate the warning and be grateful. Oh, interesting. So I feel like for some of you guys, you know, maybe it's a dissolve of a partnership or a dissolve of a relationship. Either way, I feel like this is you like off in the dry desert, like by yourself, because it's like this is showing you this is what the future will bring. But also on the flip side of that, for some of you, it's like all love is not lost yet, because it's a karmic relationship, but you've done this before. And so, you know, maybe you're not seeing the big picture of like what you need to work on in order to heal this karmic relationship and absolutely make it work in this lifetime. This is the card that flew on the floor, and this is from the Moonology Deck. And it's called the, well, I call it the Moonology Deck. It's the Mind Body Makeover deck. And it's got two things here. One side is what your muggle mind is thinking, and the other side is what your higher self is trying to tell you. So they want me to read this to go along with the Dry Desert card. And the Dry Desert mind is saying, I'm meant to be alone. Oh my gosh, you can't make this shit up. Relationships usually end traumatically for me, right? This is the monologue that you have going in your head. I'm all alone. I'm all alone in the desert, and maybe I'm just meant to be alone. By the way, this is really mirroring me yesterday to one of my best friends crying on the phone. Because I'm like, I think I'm just meant to walk this earth alone. I'm like, I'm just never meant to be with anybody. And it's like, okay, maybe we're meant to walk the earth alone for a minute, but that doesn't mean that we have to walk the earth alone forever, right? Because this is you, and I feel like this is the way you see the world, is like, you know, you're a caregiver. You take care. Look at the mama bear taking care, you know, the mama cat taking care of the baby cat. But if you notice, she's just sitting there. She's just letting the baby cat play. She's not getting involved. She's not trying to control it. She's keeping an eye out, making sure they don't get hurt or anything. But, you know, she's just like slow and steady. You know, she's just like keeping an eye out. But I feel like 8 is such a beautiful number, right? And this is hearts, but it's also cups. So it means good things are coming, like success, right? But you may need to be alone for a spell, or, you know, you may need to just find a different way to talk to your significant other. So this says, I'm meant to be alone. Relationships usually end traumatically for me. Your higher self wants you to know, or your higher self wants you to start saying to yourself, I lovingly release disappointment in old relationships so I can give birth to new ones. Healthy relationships, number 7. Okay. Whew, this one feels really weighty, meaning like this is hard for you to say to yourself or for yourself. So the last card is number 7. This is what brings you back to the ground. This is what brings you like kind of like, you know, this is what's going to help you get grounded and heal that. Number 7, which is number 7. Polarity. Integrating, look at that, another 2, right? Another 2, like this is like, and that's what polarity is about. It's your light and your dark. It's integrating your light and your dark side. This is how we heal those karmic relationships. This is how we get out of the, nobody loves me. Everybody hates me. I'm going to go out and eat worms. Fuck you. Bye. I'm going over here. I hate everybody. I just go hang out by myself. Well, this is me speaking for myself, but also for our higher selves. They're kind of giving us a little ribbing, right? Like, but it's okay, right? Because we're working through our childhood shit. It's trauma. We all have different traumas that we have dealt with. We've all had, loss in our relationships. We've all suffered, None of us have come here. Most of us in this tribe, you've probably been here many, 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 many times. I'm hearing some of you wanted to see the bottom. We've been here many times. So if we've been here many times, that means that we've got a lot of karma to fucking, sift through. And if you're on this channel and you're a part of our panda tribe, you're a powerful fucking warrior. It's your job to be here and heal, right? But it's also your job to heal yourself first, right? Before you can really, heal others. Or like I'm doing, like I'm constantly healing myself, but I'm like providing a channel to help you guys heal yourself. But we never stop learning or growing, even through the tyranny on the planet and all the dark shit that's happening. It's like we are still here healing ourselves in the process, in the moment, which makes us fucking rock stars, right? Like we're rock stars. This is not easy. This is something we're doing for the collective, to collectively bring our thinking back to the original place we started, which is love. This card says, integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. And I just think it's beautiful that we've got, these 2, 2, and 2, right? So let's see if there was some clarifiers that came here. This one's from the Moonology Deck again, and it says, living in society. So your muggle mind says, I easily get scapegoated in my family and in other relationships. And your higher self is saying, I can still feel good about myself even if someone is angry with me. So this is a powerful one, right? Like, so you can easily get scapegoated. So like maybe you get picked on, or you're bullied, or, people, or you feel bullied, or you feel like whatever. It's like, even if people are taking their shit out on you, that doesn't mean as an empath that you have to observe it. They want you to flip that mindset upside down. People can still be angry at you, and you can still love yourself. You don't have to hate yourself because someone else, or dislike yourself. Hate's a pretty strong word, but you don't have to dislike yourself just because someone else is not liking you. You can still have a great day, even if, I get it. If someone you love is suffering and they, project onto you that it's your fault, or you are projecting onto yourself that it's your fault. It's like, we are all in control of our own emotions any moment of the day, at any time of the day. We are all in control of our own stuff. You're not a victim. And the victim status is so rampant right now. I've been doing it too. The last 48 hours, I've been playing serious victim role, And then this morning, I kind of started to have some breakthroughs, and I'm like, wow, okay, I just needed to separate from this energy and this past energy and whatever. So let's see if we can get some more clarifiers. Oh, look at this. Take time to breathe out the disseminating moon. Take some time to breathe out. And just breathe. Just breathe. There are so many people who do breathing exercises. My friend Stacy is an excellent breath coach. If you're interested, I can, get you in touch with her. But there are tons of breath coaches, either in your area or online, whatever feels good for you. But, take a breather. Take a breather from this energy. You don't have to take on people's shit. Take a breather from it. Take a breather. I feel like this one's I can go here. There we go. Okay. Take a breather. Take a breather. And the last card is number 27, let go and flow. So let go and flow. I feel like you're my kitty cat pile. I'm trying to figure out where to put this. There we go. Let go and flow. You're not in the desert by yourself. And your shadow side, the more I work with my shadow side, the more I'm starting to like myself again. I know that's may not make sense, but it made perfect sense to me. I'm like, I'm starting to understand like what's happening. And like, we don't need, you know, it's like for some of you, this is like a partnership that yes, like it's worth saving and worth working through. And then for some of you, it's okay. It was just karmic. It's just karmic. You don't owe them anything. Like, you know, you worked, if you feel like you've exhausted the relationship as far as you can, then move on. Or maybe you just need to take a break from that person or from those people. And then, you know, so you can kind of like, you know, work through your shadow side, work through your stuff and find out like why it's affecting you, right? And they're saying the cat indicates flattery. So, and then it says foretells personal injury, blah, blah, and 30, it denotes strife. Oh, that's interesting. They told me to read this, but right, number 30 is also the number 3. That's what they were trying to show me. So number 30 denotes strife. And that's what this is saying. It's balancing the male and female energies will help balance out your peace and harmony, which is also 2 and 2, right? A little duality there. So those are your messages, my beautiful pile, my 8 of hearts. Thank you so much for stopping by, you guys. And please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It makes a huge difference in terms of like the algorithms and stuff. But also, I know that if I'm meant to blow up, I'll blow up. And if not, then it's just a close-knit tribe. And I'm happy to do the work for 1 or a million. It doesn't matter to me. So thanks for stopping by. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, so our next pile is, so this is the 2 of spades. But it's interesting to look at this card right off the bat. You think, oh, that's, at least for me, I'm like, oh, that looks like the right imagery. But it's actually in reverse that way. But it came reversed, and so Spirit told me to leave it reversed. And it says, it's not 2 of spades, which is also the 2 of swords. It's number 34, which is also number 7. And altogether would be number 9, which would go down to your lowest denominator, which is 3. Woo! The star ensures success in all enterprises when near, when very distant, some unlucky events. So this is in reverse, right? And this, we're doing this Gypsy's magic spell. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this is you. So this card represents you. And so since it's in reverse, the star ensures success in all enterprises when near, but when it's distant, which I'm taking as reversed, is it's some unlucky events. So this is you, and we're going to get some clarifiers to find out like what they're talking about, like what unlucky events. I feel like this wants to come all the way back here today. The other readings, they were more up front. So let's see. But you know what? We're not all different, right? So we're going to get different medicine for different situations. Okay, the Gypsy's magic spell. Number 1 is you, and number 2 is this is your defense. This is your pile. We're going to ask Spirit, what is number 2's defense? Ooh, number 12. Slow and steady. Which is also 1 and then 2. So that's kind of interesting. And remember I said that this card actually goes down to the smallest denominator, which is 3, and so does this card. So I feel like the 3 was prevalent in the last reading too. So slow and steady. You want to go over here? I felt like I wanted to go to the right. So this is your defense. And I don't always read the cards, but I've been drawn to read a few here and there. So let's see number 12. Slow and steady wins the race. Remember the old cliche, slow and steady wins the race? This is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater success. To your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. Oh, So that's interesting that this is your defense, is that you're slow and steady. But I feel like what I'm getting from this from Spirit is like, this is your defense against the world. Like, I don't know what's going to come in these cards, because even though I pull them, I don't look at them before I actually read them to you. And so I feel like for some of you right now, I'm getting a really strong vibe that the slow and steady is you guys are completely changing the way you're doing things. You're completely slowing down. You know, maybe you've decided to step away from a job or work or something, and now you're realizing, like, you know, that your family's really important, or your friends, or your loved one, or maybe you started writing a book and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and that, and I'm gonna stop doing this, and I'm gonna focus on myself. It's like I feel like you're very wise. I feel like you're very old, which makes sense because, you know, the life spiral and the snail. If you're not familiar with the life spiral, please like do more research on it. But for most of you on this channel, you probably are aware of it. And it's really interesting because this card, I saw this card earlier, but I didn't think anything of it. And I feel like it's coming into your reading to show you this labyrinth. Which is funny because my channel is Lula's Labyrinth, right? Because that's like, my mind is like a labyrinth. And it says, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration and enlightenment. This is what I feel like you are right now. I feel like you are on a sacred path to enlightenment. Like, you are not going to let anything get in your way. You are not going to be stopped by any means. Ooh, this is exciting. Good for you. That's really exciting. And they're saying to savor it. So, you know, if this is your defense right now, is to, like, you know, like maybe you're somebody who before, like, you would like lash out at people, or you would, I find it interesting that it's in reverse, because it, you know, it says on here that the star ensures success in all enterprises when near. And so I feel like, maybe it's in reverse because it's like going to be the culmination, and why they're saying that some unlucky events. So maybe part of like why you guys started to go on this path is because you were noticing like one thing after the other. Like, I remember one time my feet kept getting hurt. Like, no matter what I did, like, I just kept hurting myself. And then finally, somebody said to me, I don't remember exactly who it was, but they just said, you know, there's an old saying that if you keep hurting your feet, it means you're going in the wrong direction. And I was like, what? I was like, heavy, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's fucking heavy. Like, I was like, that is heavy. But it's true, right? So maybe you guys just finally decided to like slow down and like listen. And so bravo for you. I'm really fucking proud of you that you are doing this, because it is not easy. It is not easy being out there right now. So awesome. Okay, so number 3, this is where your fear lies. This is what you're afraid of. Wait, I'm not sure if that was it, because I feel like they were saying something else. This is what you're afraid of. This is what you're afraid of. Oh no, okay, it came up again. Communal living. Interesting. Oh, so I'm hearing for some of you, like maybe you're somebody who you really like living alone and you don't want to live with other people. And so like maybe that's like been part of, you know, your fluctuation. Or I feel like for some of you, why you're not moving as fast as you would like to is because you're living in a situation where like maybe your roommates party, or maybe they're not into your stuff, or they give you shit, or maybe they're into it but like they're not really into it. So it's like you kind of have to constantly like, you know, find your place and your bubble to like stay there. Trust me, living in tiny home, off and on, my partner and I have lived in here together for like 4 years, and I really understand. So, you know, this could be that, you know, it's time for you to like, you know, for some of you, it's, you know, it's a mass reading for lots of people. So it's going to have different, you know, connotations for whoever. But I feel like for some of you, genuinely, like, you know it, like if you're getting that ping in your stomach that you're like, I know it's time for me to like venture out on my own, then that's your message. And I feel like they're like, yes, and you're going to have the support that you need from your angels, which is why they're pointing me to the wings and the fairies. Call out to your fairy, use your fairy magic, you know, to bring that together. But also on the flip side, for some of you who hate living with people, but you know the best way for you to like move forward right now and save some money is to live with people, that can happen. You just have to make sure that it's like the most divine situation of communal living. And I can tell you from firsthand, if you live with the right people, it can be a really magnificent experience and can help you with your growth. But if you live in a situation where it's a bunch of strokes, as my mom used to call them back in the 70s, like people who are just like not in the same vibration as you, then you know what, it's time to move on. And that could be family, that could be friends, that could be a loved one. So they're saying put that fear to rest. Cut through that fear with the knife. Cut through it. Cut through that fear, because there's no fear. Don't have any fear around that. You know, just sit with spirit and meditate on it, and the answer will come to you. And sometimes, like when I'm looking for a new space or for whatever, I'll be like, you know, spirit, send me a message. And then I'll just be like watching something or cooking, and I'll hear, go look at Craigslist right now. And I'll go look and I'll find exactly what I need. Oh, look at spider spirit medicine. Oh my gosh, the spider came into the last reading too. Boy, I guess we all need some spider spirit medicine. So, you know, but, oh, also, yes, thank you, Grandmother Spider. Spiders are all about community, right? And they're the web weavers. So, you know, and maybe for some of you, you're afraid to live on your own because you like the sense of community. It's like, well, you can still have community with people. We're not going to live like this forever, you know, and a lot of people are still choosing to hang out with people, but they're wearing masks, which I think the whole thing is ridiculous, but I don't want to negate anyone who's lost anybody. I'm sure it's a real illness, a real sickness or whatever, but I personally, there's something doesn't feel right about it to me, and it actually wearing a mask feels more violent to me. Like that feels almost violent. I want to see people's faces. I want to, you know, but that's me. So anyway, so you got to do what you have to do, right? Whatever's good for you. But you know, even this came in, and you can see it's like it's an old, like, you know, off a branch, but it's like a sword. It's like, just cut through that fear, because it's old thinking. It's an old way of thinking, and they don't want you to be in that fear bubble anymore. Okay, so now number 4, this is what drives you. 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 Oh, good. Oh, 22, love your body. Wow, look up the number 22. That's a really high level spirit number. Whenever I was just saying, like, you guys are like really old souls, look up 22 angel spirit number. I guess I should always say to people, you know, take notes or get pen and paper in case you want to take notes, but you can pause it right now and go back and, you know, or pause it right now. I'm going to say it again. But for some of you, kudos, that's awesome. Like maybe you started working on yourself and you feel really good, or maybe you've been in a community of people and you've been supporting each other to, like, you know, be your best self. That's awesome. So this is saying, this is what drives you. So loving yourself and loving your body is what is going to drive you. If it isn't now, it will. The more you take care of yourself, the more you take care of your body, the more all of this stuff will like come together. And, you know, I'm hearing for some of you, you don't like to cook, but imagine, you know, you're in a house where the person loves to cook. Like maybe they're a lawyer and they love their job, but when they get home at night, they love to cook. That's their passion. And so they do it every day, and then they cook for the tribe. You know, it's like there's more communal living that's coming, you know, into the forefront now. And I think for some people, it's a great way to heal. You know, I personally know that lately I've been feeling like I need community more, and I've been like trying to think of like ways to like bring my community together, like in my part of in the Northwest, in my neck of the woods. And so, you know, and maybe this is your job, you know, as the star, is to kind of bring that, you know, bring that together. Okay, and number 5, this is what you are left with. This is what you're, oh my gosh, this one threw out. Oh, this is what you are left with, finances. So that means when all of this stuff is going on, it's like, this is, when they're saying this is what you're left with, I think we understand that coins mean finances. You don't have to see the word fully. We're going to get a clarifier on that. They're saying we're going to put a pin in that right now, and we're going to come back. Okay, so this is what you're left with. Number 6, this is what the future will bring. This is what the future will bring. Woo, ships. Oh my gosh. So somebody is going on a trip. I feel like this can go. What did this say again in reverse? When very distant, some unlucky events, the star ensures success. Okay. So we're going to bring that there, and we're going to put this here. Okay, and so this is what the future will bring. We're going to get to all of this, don't worry. but they're telling a story right now. I love when they're like, just do it. Just do what I tell you to do. I'm like, okay. And then number 7, this is what brings you back to the ground. This is what brings you back to the ground. What's the main card for? Oh, unrequited love. Interesting. So they're having me put the unrequited love over here next to the mirror, because I feel like this is the imagery. Like, this is the mirror, right? So like, she's seeing herself in the mirror, but like, this is really what you're seeing. You're not really fully loving yourself back. We're going to get some more clarifiers for that. Okay, Spirit, now that we've gone through all 7, let's go through some clarifiers. Oh, okay, hold on. What's the next message? Okay, there's multiple. Okay. They're saying they want me to read the ships card, the past life card right now. Okay, so ships. Your prior lifetime spent on ships bring this card to you today. As a former sailor, crew member, or ship passenger, you've had experiences at sea that have exerted an influence on the situation you're inquiring about. You probably already have a sense of the type of life you had aboard these ships. The question now becomes how your experiences have affected your present life. Negative reactions, such as fears and phobias, or positive reactions, such as longings to travel or a special affinity for the ocean, all may have arisen in prior lifetimes. That's interesting. Okay. And they're saying, and money was an issue with that. So I have a feeling that if money is an issue for you guys, it's tied into like some personal stuff with your family. Like, you know, maybe in your soul contract, you were born into a family that didn't have a lot of money, and so you've had to work really hard for it or whatever. Or I feel like for some of you, money has been so, like it's never had been anything you've had to really think about, but you're not really good with it. So there's a lot of like turmoil tied up with finances with you guys, and it's tied into this past life with the ships. And the other thing too is when the communal living card comes in, even though it spoke to that specific situation, it also goes to most likely you lived in a situation that like you didn't have to concern yourself with money, right? Like you were in a tribe, indigenous of some kind, somewhere in the world where money wasn't an issue. You know, it was like exchange of energy. So, you know, like one person in the village, you know, hunted the food and one person cooked the food, and then one person needed some guidance and they go to a shaman, and the shaman, the seer, you know, like that would be my job, right? I'd be the seer and I'd help them like figure that out. And that's how, you know what I mean? And then somebody feeds me, and that's how we all pay each other, right? It's like we're all part of the same community. So it's not about money. And so they're saying it's kind of the same thing. So maybe part of like why the living situation or like why this is happening is due to finances. And they're saying like that's, you know, we talked about that earlier. That's why some of you are meant to go live in a community so you don't have to. I see things online all the time that are work trade for like, you know, you can go live on a farm and like, you know, you give X amount of hours a week to the farm to whatever chore you're best suited for, and then like that's your exchange of energy, like that's what you do. And then like, you know, maybe you're only responsible for your food or whatever, and who knows, but I feel like can we get more clarifiers on this, because we're going to talk about the unrequited love yet. Oh, emotions are running high, supermoon. So that means you're an empath. So that's another thing too, is maybe some of you are having a little caution about living with people because you're concerned about your energy, right? And again, same situation, not necessarily always bad, because if you get around the same like-minded people, that's when you can say, you know, listen, I need some quiet. You know, do you guys mind if we can, you know, or maybe you move into a household where you have certain times that are set aside for quiet time, you know. There's a big thing with that here, where when they're saying the emotions are running high, this is how your energy is right now, because you're so amped up with what's going on the planet. But there's ways of remedying this. And where do you want this to go? The emotions running high on the communal living. Okay. Okay, so what are some more clarifiers? Ooh, Asia. So one or more of you have a past connection to Asia. Also, I'm hearing like Buddha, like maybe you're Buddhist, or maybe it's something you're interested in. You know, there, just because people have made religions quote unquote bad does not mean that all religions are bad, you know. There's a lot of beautiful things in every single religion and every single spiritual group. So for some of you, maybe the communal living is, you know, through Buddhism. Like maybe you, everybody in the house practices, you know, Buddhism or whatever, you know. It's like maybe that's what you're searching for. It's like, or, you know, maybe right now you're getting the clicks, right? Because it's going to be different for all of you guys. It's a mass reading. But I think it's interesting how, you know, she's kind of looking away. Like she's not even looking at it. It's like there's possibilities, but she's not even looking at it, right? She's focused on the money. She's focused on maybe lack, or maybe she's focused on having riches, but like hasn't realized that like they have to grow first to like get to this next. Let's get some more clarifiers. Ooh, wow, this one flew out. So this is from the Mind Body Makeover deck. I call it the Moonology Deck, Healthy Goals, number 7. One side of the card is our muggle mind, and the other side is our higher self trying to calm the muggle mind. And in this situation, the muggle mind is saying, I don't know what my true life calling is. But I hear that. Like, they had me read it like that because I feel like some of you are like, but I don't know what it is. Like, what is it? And your higher self is saying, through contemplation, introspection, and completion, I can find out what my next step and true calling is. By attending to details and organizing my life, my vocation will become clear. Right? So it's like, if you calm the cluttered mind, don't try and control the outcome, you know, reach out to your community, reach out to your tribe, you know, whatever it is. Or maybe, you know, even today, like, it's like there's something tied into this for you, whether it's the Buddhism, the communal living, you know, the empath. You know, I like to use the term empaths, healing empaths, because that's really what I do, right? I'm an empath too, so I understand your struggle. I understand your strife. I understand you wanting to be alone, but also it's like a ship alone at sea without anyone to steer the ship is a ghost ship, right? Like nobody's even there. It's like, how can you venture off into these new worlds and all that? And also a big chunk of it is right here. This is in working with your past life trauma, unrequited love. And for some of you, the unrequited love is not loving yourself. So the ancestors are asking you to look in the mirror and see your past lives so that you can heal them, so that you can move forward, so you can go to these places, so you can go and experience these things, right? But it's like we find that through meditation. And they're going to have me put this. Do we want me to put this here? I think it's just going to kind of go down here as like a mascot. Okay, any more clarifiers, Spirit? Any more clarifiers for us? And this is also, we're going to keep going from the Mind Body Makeover. And the Muggle Mind is saying, or it's from the Healthy Joy 1. And the Muggle Mind says, I'm always pleasant socially. If I don't have something nice to say, I don't say anything at all. And your higher self says, I effectively communicate my feelings to others, whether I am happy or not. So maybe that's another thing too, like why you're concerned about, maybe you lived in a situation before where like people didn't listen to you, and they're saying you can communicate effectively with others. You know, you don't have to be happy about it. You can say, listen, you know, I need to talk to you about this. And the truth is, it's like, if they can't be mature, if they're not mature enough to handle like what's going on, it's like, then they shouldn't really be in the house anyway, right? So you wouldn't put yourself there. That's why you interview. I know when I tried to do communal living years ago when I lived in Portland, I like interviewed houses like they were interviewing me. I was interviewing them, right? Like I had this one house, like there was like two of us that we loved each other. Like we hit it off the bat, like right away. They showed me my space. I was like, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, but for the price. And I was like, yeah, it's perfect, you know. And then the other roommate came in at the end after we felt like this was like a perfect match, and I did not get along with them. They didn't get along with me. And I was really pissed about it, you know, like when they ended up not choosing me, I was kind of pissed because I was like, I'm like, oh, it's a fucking girl. I'm like, it was her. But you know what? We weren't meant to get along. I wasn't meant to live there. I was meant to go a different path. And actually now I thank that person. I thank that individual, because if we had gotten along, I would have moved there, and who knows what would have happened, right? So, you know, it's like you're saying, like, this card is saying, like, your higher self is like, you're really cool as long as you're amicable with everybody. You're fine, you know, but like off alone by yourself, or maybe in your head solo, you're like thinking things about them that aren't so pleasant. But that's okay, because it's time for you to speak your mind and say, you know, your piece, right? And you can do it in a positive way. It doesn't have to be negative. See how now the negative went down and all you see is the star? You can be the star that you are. And you can shine brightly, right? Like, you can shine brightly and say, no, this is who I am. Speak your truth. Oh, look at this. Innocence. Take time to play, nurture your inner child, and live with a childlike sense of wonder. Look at that. See, your higher self is like asking you to like work with your child. And don't you think it's interesting? It's like, here you are, your like past life selves, or the ancestors are begging you to love every bit of yourself. So like, maybe for some of you, there's parts of you don't like. Maybe it's the way you look. Maybe it's the way you were raised. Maybe it's where you come from. You've got some shame or whatever. But they're like, no, you know, she doesn't have the fanciest, most beautiful dress on, you know, maybe to some people, but it is pretty. You know, it's simple. It's like, she's her own beautiful. I think she's beautiful, right? But like, some people might look at that and not see, you know, because she's not wearing a lavish gown, or she's not, you know, but it's like, you know, love all parts of you. Love all parts of you. That's what I feel like this is trying to say. It's like, you know, nurture your inner child. Heal whatever this was when you wanted to get here, but you didn't think you could, you know, kind of thing. And looking out into seeing far off places, but no, I can't get there. They're like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You want to know why? Because we're going to put this one right here. They're saying this can go right here. Oh, they want this one to cover here. The ancestors there. So this is you. Now look at you. Loving on your inner child, loving like the ancestors, lovingly seeing you loving yourself, and it makes them happy. So you're healing that ancestral wound by loving yourself fully, because now you don't have to look away anymore. You can go into wide open spaces. And that's number 42, which is also the number 6. So look at that beautiful story. It's time for you to, like, you know, go out into the world. It's time for you to, like, you know, to show yourself. And for some of you, it is time for you to go inward and heal your stuff. But you're not going to be alone, right? Because the ancestors are always with you. Your higher self is always with you. You know, the ancestors, whichever way you want to look at it, it's like you carry it with you. You carry it with you across the waters, across the seas. Loving yourself. You're the star, man. You're the fucking star. And remember that. And love yourself. Okay, my beautiful 2 of Spades pile. Thank you so much for coming by. Please like, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff, because it makes a huge difference in the algorithm. You know, it just beckons more of our panda tribe to come together. And also, if you feel the call to donate, the information is all below and also in my About section. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you again next time. Blessed be. Aho. Bye-bye. Okay, we are on to the Ace of Hearts. Hello, Ace of Hearts. Hello, Ace of Hearts. Welcome to your reading. Welcome to your reading. I don't know why, but I feel like all of a sudden I'm supposed to talk in this voice. And Grandmother Spider has come into, I believe, every reading. This is the 4th reading, but she has just been there in the forefront and giving us lots of good information. She's been an amazing mascot. Thank you, Goddess Mother Spider. And so we're going to start with number 11, the Ace of Hearts, which is also the Ace of Cups. The fox in close proximity augurs distrust of acquaintances who are seeking to betray you. Distant and less, the more distant, the less danger. Okay, so we're doing this spread called the Gypsy's Magic Spell. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And the first card is all about you. You are the star of this show. And that's a nice coyote we got going on there. I believe that's a coyote. It's not a fox, is it? I think it's a coyote. I'm pretty sure it's a coyote. I'm feeling coyote energy, so I'm going to say it's a coyote. So the number 1 card is This Is You. And then we're going to pull some clarifiers from this deck. Or we're going to pull one card from, I already pulled these cards. I haven't seen them yet. I pulled them, but I haven't seen them. So we're going to pull the cards and then we're just going to kind of break it up as we go. Ooh, look at that. Did that just fall? Ooh, this was from the last reading. Interesting. We'll see if it's meant to come into this one, because sometimes they are. Okay, so do we need a clarifier on this card? Yes. Ooh, health. Okay, so this is you, and this is your health. And there's also a snake there, which I think is really interesting. They said we don't need to say the word health, that it's more about the imagery for you right now. Okay. Any more? Should we just move on to number 2? Oops. Okay. What's number 2 is, oh, and they're having me say this to you really quickly because I forgot to say this. Apologies. My apologies. So number 1 is you. Number 2 is your defense. Number 3 is what you're afraid of. Number 4, this is what drives you. Number 5, this is what you are left with. Number 6, this is what the future will bring. And number 7, this is what brings you back down to the ground. Okay? So, all right. Excuse me, have a water break. I was going to say, excuse me while I drink water, but then they said, even if you just started, have a water break. By the way the lighting's hitting it, do you guys not see how like this card looks like it's in a spotlight? Like this section looks like it's in a spotlight. Oh my gosh, you guys are really powerful. I feel like some of you are stars, or like you want to be or you like being center stage. Or, by the way, this dropped, so I'm assuming it's from your group, so I'm picking it up. And they're saying, it says, wishes come true, rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. They're having me put this here to show you, but, you know, I am the storyteller and I do as I'm told. So we'll see how this plays out. I don't believe, let me see. Hold on. There's a lot coming through. Wow. I'm hearing the words jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber. There's like a lot of like entities here that want to speak to you guys. Ooh, powerful channel. Is number 2, or the health card is number 2, correct? Okay. And then, the wishes come true, is that number 3? Will that play into the story later? Okay, all right. So I just wanted to make sure and get a clarifier. I've been going for an hour and 46 minutes straight, and well, I did go to the bathroom, but so I just want to make sure that I'm doing this right, you know, and stay in good, you know, contact with spirit and your reading. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 3, and this is what you are afraid of. Okay, so number 3 is your fear. What is the fear of number 3? What is the fear? Oh, okay. We got movement backwards. Oh my gosh, and the spider is going crazy on the window right now. Number 28. This is what you are afraid of. But it was in reverse. So we're going to see, I'm going to read this card because I'm called to read this card. And it's movement, number 28, in reverse. You are in a time of positive forward motion is the theme of the card. But in reverse, it says, do you feel as if you're walking in circles, seemingly not getting anywhere? Consider the spiral that travels up and around. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Even backward movement helps you progress and reach your goal. You may need to revisit some of the places where you forgot to look for treasure. Another message is this: Lessons need repeating for those who refuse or are unable to learn from them the first time. Consider this another invitation to mastery. Oh, I love it, right? Because, so your fear is like that you're like, you feel like, I'm just moving in circles. Nothing's happening. I'm not moving forward. I feel you, especially in the energy that we're in right now. These readings are timeless. So whenever you see this, it's fine. But just so you know, when this reading was done, it is June 7th. And it is the second day after the very powerful full moon in Sagittarius, which was also an eclipse moon. We have officially entered eclipse season. We have 2 more eclipses before the full moon eclipse on July 5th. We also have so many retrogrades happening right now, and retrogrades are all about taking a minute, stepping back, and really looking at something again, really assessing a situation again, really like digging deep under the surface and looking at it. And so you may feel a little paralyzed in your movement right now, but even in our paralyzation, we are still learning, we're still absorbing, we're still teaching, we're teaching others as well, right? Because as we go through something again, it's like, oh my gosh, I did this again, this happened again. I just had that with my partner. We just separated again. Just after we had this like amazing month of love and awesomeness, it was like one thing happened, then another thing happened, then another thing happened, and then it just the energy of the moon, it's like I couldn't contain myself and I lost my fucking shit and I didn't handle it very well, and I was just like, rah, and I went like ape shit, right? And I say my excuse is that, my full moon in Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius, my sun, my rising, my ascending are Sag, but also I'm in control of it, right? So we're in control of how we handle that situation. I handled it poorly. But it wasn't poorly, right? Because it was gross and it sent off a chain of events, but it was a chain of events that needed to happen for myself and for my partner and for my situation in general, because I don't want to see something for what it is, right? But I have to keep looking at it deeper and deeper and deeper until it resonates. And it's the same for you, my sweet pile, my sweet coyotes. It's like, my ace of hearts. The good news is, the ace is all about new beginnings. It's all about the beginning. So sometimes the beginning feels really hard, right? Because you're at the very beginning of it. Maybe you just ended something and you thought that you'd have a faster movement from it, but slow and steady wins the race. That was the message in the last one too, right? And so the heart is about cups. And I've been researching and studying more on the tarot, and for the cups, it's about emotions, creativity, intuition, and relationships. So for some of you, this movement or this stagnation, lack of movement, could be in your relationships, it could be in your business practice. But the truth is, look at the planet right now. Even with what's happening, it's like, of course it's going to be a much bigger deal than it was in 1968, because 1968 people were still afraid, and people are still scared now, but people are a lot more willing to like show their, cards right now, so to speak, than they were, 50 years ago. So, keep in mind that you're exactly where you're meant to be, even if it doesn't feel like that. So Spirit's saying like, hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. And even though it seems a little smarmy for them to say, welcome, to your mastery, it's like, but take it as a compliment. Like Spirit's saying, take it as a compliment. Also, the coyote is the trickster, right? And the trickster, I'm not even gonna, I want you to look up coyote spirit medicine, okay? Look up coyote spirit animal, and I have a feeling you're going to really resonate with that, because that's who you are. And some of you might have already been like, oh my gosh, and that's why you chose it, right? Because you're like, I'm the coyote. Okay, so number 4, this is what drives you. This is what drives you. Safe and happy travel, direct protection from harm when journeying. Okay, they're saying this is a piece of the puzzle that's coming out right now. It's all going to come together. It's all going to come together. So this is what drives you. 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 Ooh, that one did not want to come out. And there's quite a few. So this is in our Mind Body Makeover deck, and this category is called Healing Sadness. So this is what's driving you, is to heal your sadness. On one side, we have your muggle mind and what's poisoning you and telling you untruths, and then this is your higher self that's going to come in and give you the truth. So your muggle mind is saying, I feel rejected by my family and friends. And your higher self is saying, I now have a wealth of family and friends who make me feel like I belong. right? I was saying this to my friend yesterday. I was like, I feel like an orphan. I'm like, a few weeks ago I said to Adam, like, we don't need anybody. We have us. Like, it's us against the world kind of thing. But that's not true. I mean, I love that, but I don't need Ed. Like, he's my friend first and foremost. But I told him yesterday, I'm like, I can't even be friends with you. And I was like, I'm in love with you. How can I be friends with you when I'm in love with you? Because I was angry and I was still working off this energy, and my sleeping was all over the place with the moon and working with spirit and working with my shadow side. So, it's like, be mindful of your words. Even some of us, oh my gosh, you guys, I wish you could see this right now, but if I move it any other way, I could fuck it up. So I'm just going to pull it out, and you're just going to have to believe me. But I have 3 decks in the same pack. I asked Spirit if we were going to bring in any spirit animals specifically, besides like, that one. And what did this is health, right? I just noticed that this was sticking out, and I have 3 different decks in there. I've got my fairy deck, and I have the wisdom of the tall ones in there. This was sticking out, and all I saw was the number 6. Look at that. Snakes are all about shedding our skin. So you is the health. Like, I feel like your health is in jeopardy. Like, I feel like there's all of these things that are like happening because you're too concerned about like what's happening with the way people think and feel about you. It's like, but Spirit wants you to know, like, once you let go of that shit, like, all your wishes are going to come true. This says rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. So meaning, like, as soon as you let go of the past and like things that you don't need to deal with anymore, all of that stuff is going to flood in. But right now, you're in the yucky phase. You're in the, like, when you see a snake shedding its skin, have you ever seen it in the wild? I saw it once, and it's a really cool thing. I was mesmerized by it. But to find a snake in the wild that's shedding its skin is kind of rare, because that's something they kind of go off and do on their own. But I'm hearing for some of you, like, do it out loud, whether it's through your social media or, starting a blog or a YouTube channel, or maybe you already read for people or whatever, but they're asking you to like really shed that skin, because some of the stagnation of the movement is because, you're still working on a few things, but it's like, the skin doesn't come right off the snake. He doesn't go, okay, I'm going to shed my skin today, and he just slithers out of it. It's a slow and arduous process of him pulling back the whole top layer of his skin. And so it's kind of like that with you. It's like, if you think of your friends and family, like the people who were holding you back, it's like, that's why it feels like this, like the movement isn't happening, right? It's like, but once you change it and you realize that you're the one that's in control of that, and that you have to go through it at your pace. And then once the skin sheds off, you will have that movement again. Because, ostriches, they run like, I think like 50 or 70 miles an hour, something crazy like that. They run really fucking fast, man, on those little teeny legs. But, you can't, even the ostrich is like going at a slow pace here because they're carrying the weight of the world on their back. But see the windmill there, and see the balloon? It's like, these are all these, like, I feel like the balloon is like you, like, escaping that kind of like mentality of the lack of movement. But you need to be stagnant for a little while. You need to stay there a little bit longer and let them see how obviously it's a picture, so the windmill's not moving. But I know for some of you it feels like this, right? Like there's no air in the room, like you can't breathe, you can't. Well, then, we're going to get some clarifiers for that. But I would tell you to get outside, work with that energy and continue to shed that skin. The thing I said to my friend was, I'm like, I feel like I have nobody. I feel like I have nobody. I'm like, and when I woke up today, I was like so sad, and I was crying, and then I worked with Spirit and meditated and watched a reading, and I realized, I was like, you know what? No. I'm like, it's just that we have to go at the pace that works for us, and it may not align with your family and friends, and it may not align with anybody else. This is your health that we're talking about here. This is your health. And, work with the number 6 too. And isn't this 6 as well? No, that's 10. The 10's about completion, right? But 8 is about, getting your groove back, and 2 is about stability. Right? But this one, what was this one? I feel like this one, didn't we have a... Oh, it's number 11. Aw. The angels got your back. The angels got your back. Okay, so that was, this is what drives you. Okay. Now, number 5, this is what you are left with. This is what you are left with. Ooh, authority figures. Yuck. And maybe that's why, because you're somebody who has a hard time being told what to do. But they're like, nobody's fucking telling you what to do. You're the one that's allowing people to tell you what to do. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. And you don't have to be worried about the establishment. You know, the thing that the government, the reason why this is happening right now is that the government, or at least the government that we have right now, they forget that they work for us. It's not the other way around. We are not fucking, we don't work for fucking Trump Incorporated. This is our country. This was built and you know, on all of our ancestors, his too, all of our ancestors, right? But it's like, no one has the right to tell us how to live our lives, you know, if it feels right for us. And so don't let anybody tell you. And I feel like for some of you, like maybe you even have that in your family. Like maybe your parents are like more like doctors, lawyers, like they have like quote unquote real jobs. And so, you know, like you want to like work with spirit or whatever. And they're like, that's woo woo and all that. And they're having me bring it to this. And it says safe and happy travel, protection from harm when journeying. I feel like for some of you, like when you go to visit friends or family, or maybe you have something coming up, I feel like for some of you, you have something coming up where you're going to a wedding or something where you're going to see family or whatever. You don't have to go. But if you do, then make it a fun trip and don't let it be about like who's telling you like, you know, how to do it, how to get there, whatever. Does that make sense? Excuse me. Okay. Number 6, this is what the future will bring. Number 6, this is what the future will bring. This is what the future will bring. This is what the future will bring. Oh, take a breather. Yeah, because after you go through all this, right? Like after a snake sheds its skin, that's like a workout, man. That's like a workout. So they're going to say, they're saying, take a breather before you go off running. Take a breather first. Relax. Actually, they're bringing it over here. Because now you've shed your skin, right? Because that's the near future. This is what the future will bring. There's going to be clarifiers on that too. And number 7 is, this is what brings you back down to the ground. This is what brings you to the ground. Oh, by giving more. You're a giver. You love to help people. Then do that. When you're feeling down and out, like maybe you like to cook for people, shop for people, whatever. Maybe you like to take somebody for a ride, or you like to be like, hey, do you need a ride to the store? Or you have an elderly, you know, neighbor that needs help. You know, so when you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling like you have nowhere to go, like give back. That's how you're going to help heal yourself, is by giving back. And this is number 23, which is the number 5. And 5's all about change, right? And 5 is in the middle of 10. So it's like think of yourself as the snake that's in the middle of the skin shedding. You're in the middle of it, right? You're in the middle of shedding. Well, actually, no, they're saying, but like these eggs, like, because I was like, because usually this represents something else to me. But they're saying this is what you have. They want you to look at them as pearls instead of eggs. Like you've got pearls of wisdom to give people. So maybe you're like good at giving advice to people, but you're not 100% there yet. They, you know, if the snake is halfway through the skin, you know, he can't really help anybody else until he completely works through that. So work through that. And then when you do, start giving back. And then a lot of things are going to start to like make sense to you. So can we have some more clarifiers, Spirit? This was a big pile. Let's get some clarifiers. Oh, solitude. That helps you a lot. It's number 13. I like this card because I like how the moon is kind of like the eclipse is kind of, it almost looks eclipsed. And even though this is like a mirror image, it's like how it's kind of eclipsed here. By the way, I'm getting a huge ping in my heart chakra, like really bad. I feel like there's like knots. I feel like my heart chakra is in knots. This card was actually upside down. And so they're having me actually read it to you. They've been really, Spirit's been really loving today in terms of that kind of giving. The quote for this is, I am comfortable in my own skin. I love it. Oh, I love it. Get it? Because the snake skin. I am comfortable in my own skin as I detach to replenish my soul. Oh my gosh. Now it just left. That pain left. So work on your heart chakra, work with Raphael for the healing, work with Raphael for the healing. But it was in reverse, so they want me to read that to you. It says, too much solitude results in isolation and separation. Now is the moment to get together with friends and join in the merriment. Hiding out will lead to loneliness and negative thinking. Separation at this time isn't a healthy choice. Are you in a situation in which you feel alone? You need to share this, not keep it to yourself. By joining in with others, you'll hear what you need to know, because Spirit finds ways to speak through them without their even knowing it. You have the key to let yourself out of this prison. You are loved and never alone. Oh, so right out the gate, I got that some of you needed some isolation while you were going through that, but then the book wanted to read that to you because some of you now see the reflection. It's like if you see it this way, it's like now upright, the reflection is the reverse. Like maybe you don't see the moon up above, but you could see it in the water. Do you see where I'm going with that? And it's like here you can't see the top of the tower, but you see it in the reflection. And I feel like in this sense too, like this is like a little darker and a little more ominous, but in the bottom part, it's a little lighter, a little brighter. Does that make sense? And so through this eclipse season, and this is also the number 13, which is the number 31. So, you can look at that as the number 4 either way. So it's like you're almost there, but you're not quite there. Like 3 before 1, like 3 plus 1 would be 4, which would, be more on like focus and stability. So during this moon cycle, they want you to really work with this. By the way, can you hear that? I don't know how sensitive this microphone is, but it just started pouring. Wow, that's really powerful. Okay, so let's get some more clarifiers. Conclusions are within reach. Look at that. I can't make this up. I didn't see this beforehand. Full moon eclipse. What was I just saying about the eclipses? So work through, and the spider, she's going crazy on the window right now. Work through that. Right now, I feel like, that saying you can't see the forest for the trees. It's like, but it's the opposite. It's like you're in the woods. You're in the part where you're still in the shedding. You're still working through stuff, but the conclusions they're really close. A lot is going to be revealed after this eclipse season. A lot is going to be revealed, you guys. Also, this comes from the past life deck, and some of you have a fear of starving, or your family not having enough, or that there's lack somewhere, and they're saying this is a fear-based thinking that they want you to get out of. Remember when we were talking about what are you afraid of? This is another thing that they're saying that you're afraid of. But if you notice, we've lost you. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? You fell down. You got lost in the shuffle. Hold your ground. Stay true to who you are and remember your power, shapeshifter. Remember your power. What are some other clarifiers, Spirit? Oh, the storm fields, number 9. The storm fields. So maybe some of you are feeling like this right now. You're feeling like we're never gonna get through this. It's never gonna end. It's just one thing after another, right? Because I just saw something this morning that a fucking tornado hit Florida. It's like, it's going to end. It's just, there have been a lot of warnings. We have been getting warning after warning after warning after warning from Spirit for a long time. And the last protest in the 60s, that is, that's when a lot of stuff started to erupt. But now it's like Goddess Gaia, the planet, she's like I done told you, bitches. Like, she doesn't talk like that, but that's kind of how I feel. Like, she's just like, I told you guys. Like, I told you, but you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to hear, and it's just the way it's going now. And it's okay. It's okay. Again, we all know it was meant to be. But look at how this is. I feel like this one's like now like illuminated. Focus on this right now and don't focus on that. See how this is a little more dim? It's like, Spirit told me not to fuck with the lighting, so I'm not. So, like the answers are coming, but it's like, oh, look at this magic prayer, number 5. We need your magic in prayer every day. Even while you're struggling, even while you're shedding your skin, it's like, we need that illumination from you right now. Like, we need your power. We need your gifts to fight that, right? It's like, so staying in a high vibration as much as possible. Work through shit when you got to work through shit. Nobody's saying you can't, work through your shit. The storm's coming for all of us, right? But in the meantime, your power is really needed now. So hold, light candles, say prayers, say, hey, spirit, we need some help right now. Look at number 53. And listening. Remember I was just saying that about giving more? Listening to your higher self, listening to your spirit guides. When you don't know the answer, call on them. They're not allowed to intervene unless we ask them for help. Unless it's like an ongoing, like Michael and I kind of know, I'll call for him, but I feel like Michael and I know, if I'm not looking, he's got my back, right? So listening and hearing the voices, hearing the messages, starting to discern what's your voice, what's your higher self, your spirit guides, the archangels, whatever. Sometimes they come to people in colors and auras, whatever. But by listening to others, that's how you give more. And look at that. I feel like spirit is the elephant is a representation of is a representation of spirit. And I feel like spirit's saying to you, I'm listening to your prayers. But it's like a culmination, right? We're a collective. We're here to support each other. So hold on. I got to plug in my laptop before. Sorry, you guys. I know. I don't know. There's no way to, it's an older thing and there's no way for me to fix this or to pause it. If there is, I haven't figured it out yet. So I just want to make sure that all of these messages are heard because they're very important. Okay. I wondered if that was going to happen. That's okay. That's okay. That's the way it's all supposed to happen. It's all good. Okay. So let me get this back in the way it was. Oops. Move this over a little bit. Okay. We there? Feel good? Does it feel good? Okay. Where's my other cards? Sorry, guys. Oh, they're in the book. Thank you. Okay, my apologies for that. But sometimes things are meant to happen. So let's get some more. Also, they're bringing me to the attention of the music. Listening to music soothes any savage beast, right? So, getting back in touch with your music, whether you play it, listen to it, sing it. Oh, and protecting treasure. You're your greatest treasure of all. Do you see her? She's trying to get under that umbrella so she doesn't get rained on. But she's also she could get all the way underneath the umbrella if she would let go of that attachment, but she's laying on top of her treasure she doesn't want to let it go. And it's time to not have the attachments of things and people that you've had in the past, family, friends, a home, whatever. It's things are shifting and things are changing for you. So protect yourself. You're not going to go hungry. You're not going to starve. There are too many community outreach programs right now. If anything, the one thing this brought us was the beautiful clarity that we are not alone, that none of us are alone. And the Magic Stream, number 18. Number 18. This one was in reverse, and they want me to read this to you. But I want to show you the card first. By the way, look at the little sliver of the moon. Just going through another phase of that moon phase, right? The Magic Stream in reverse. Let's see what the Magic Stream in reverse has to say. And what number did you say it was? Oh, it's number 18, which is also the number 9. Number 18. So the saying for the Magic Stream is, everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. In a reverse position, the Magic Stream card represents swimming against the current. There are times when effort and sheer willpower result in victory and celebration, but this isn't one of them. You can't force inspiration and you can't manufacture creativity, lest you borrow too heavily from others' ideas. Neither can you make someone love you or orchestrate a series of events that might place you in a more favorable position. Now is the time to stop now is the time to drop the trying and jump into the stream and float. Immerse yourself in the experience of being fully present with whatever is true for the moment. You'll never step in the same river twice anyway, right? And that is this, it's akin to the snake analogy as well, right? Of just like jumping in and floating, you know, like you're gonna get down the stream, you're gonna get there, but you're not going to get there faster by trying to, you know, you can swim with the current, but you don't, you know, if you're going too fast, you may not see what lies ahead. And then you're just going to have like another bump in the road, another obstruction that you weren't planning on, that you don't need to deal with right now. Oh, interesting. I've never even seen this card, you guys. Number 16, Rescue. Wow. Wow. I feel like this one needs to be seen for a minute. Like, I want this one to be, like, I want you guys to see this card. I'm going to read it. I need some more water. You guys are intense, man. You're powerful people. Very, 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 very powerful people. Holy crap. Number 16, which is also the number 7. Whew. This says, you are always safe and secure and free to be yourself. Asking for help isn't easy for successful people. However, that's what you need to do now as you expand your life. If you find yourself troubled, you can expect help with whatever issue is at hand now. You need only ask and assistance will come your way. The most important support you can expect is from Spirit. Get into a right relationship with the divine and you'll see that many conditions line up as if by magic to provide you with all the help you need. Ask and you will receive. There is no need to fear. Safety is a place within. Yeah, I'm hearing you guys, a lot of the fear stuff that you guys are, you're doing it to yourself. And it's almost like it's because you don't want to see what's happening. Like you don't want to see what's happening with yourself. You're completely lost in like what's happening in the world. Step the fuck away from social media. Stop looking at that. Look at like the good things in life. Look at, you know, stay in your space here. You know, you're in this kind of melancholy thing. Some of you, maybe you're losing your home or you're losing contact with people. But I'm feeling like a tremendous loss from this card. And so Spirit wants me to say, oh my gosh, go into the unknown, number 7. And this is a 7 card, right? It's number 16. So, and didn't we have 7 somewhere else? Into the unknown. Look at her. She's blindfolded, but look at her fucking awesome outfit and look at where she is. So imagine that, okay, so Spirit wants you to look at it like this. If you look like this, you know, like if this is what you're looking into, right? The abyss of like craziness right now, then this is how you're going to feel. But if you stay in this, it was like it almost knocked it over. If you stay in this, with Spirit, you know, well, we can bring it over here so you can, because I feel like they're meant to be together, right? Then, before you know it, you're going to be dressed up like this in this awesome outfit, ready for the ball, and they're going to take off the blindfold, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, and once that skin is shed, you're just going to see things from a completely different perspective. But right now, it's like it's hard for you to see it any other way than the way you're seeing it because you're in this turmoil bubble. But they're saying, nope, nope, you know, like be brave enough to go into the unknown. And the last card is, Beloved, prepare for your life purpose. Oh, for your life partner. Freudian slip in a good way. Prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. So for some of you, and it hit this card, so maybe this card is connected to this for you, for some of you guys, right? This kind of, you know, your knight in shining armor or whatever, female in shining armor, whatever you want to call it, knightess, I don't know. But like, you know, they're coming, but they're not going to rescue you. You need to rescue yourself, but it's like, this is like, you know, rescuing each other kind of thing. But also I feel like this is you, like, it's not necessarily like partner. When I think of Beloved, I think of like Spirit calling us beloved, right? Like saying, hey, beautiful beloveds, this is your, you know, this is gone. You don't need to worry about this, because wishes do come true. And everything is going to come together in the divine timing, but you need to believe it. You need to believe it. You need to believe it. Because there's no such thing as food and hunger. Or there's no such thing as hunger, right? Oh, look at that. And the conclusions are within reach. So that's your message, my beautiful coyotes, my beautiful Ace of Hearts, my Ace of Cups. Things are coming your way. So thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for being a part of this amazing tribe. Click, like, subscribe, comment, you know, put the little bell, all that good stuff, all that stuff that all the other readers say. Thank you for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay. Woo! We're on to the last pile. Man, this was intense. Intense. All right, my 2 of clubs, 2 of clubs, 2 of clubs. 2 of clubs. Number 46, which is also the number 10, and this could be a culmination of the number 12. The railroad forecasts a long journey. If near 44, a serious accident. If near 29, a robbery. So this is from the old Gypsy, which it's a very old fortune teller deck. And so some of the terminology isn't the same. I try to just interpret it the way that it applies to the person's reading. So for some reason, this one wanted to come out, and I love that it actually comes out to the number 12. I also think that, you know, well, and just, you know, here they're telling me to show you. Hold on. So this is the reading that we're doing, and it's called the Gypsy's Magic Spell, and it starts with number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And number 1 is this is you. So this is you, and we'll get to that. Number 2 is this is your defense. Number 3 is this is what you're afraid of. Number 4, this is what drives you. Number 5, this is what you are left with. Number 6, this is what the future will bring. Number 7, this is what brings you back down to the ground. Okay, so let's get started. And I didn't really number the piles, but you are my last pile of the day, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Sweet 2 of clubs, and also the 2 of clubs is the 2 of wands. So for some of you that follow tarot, I am learning a lot about that right now. And wands, I'm reading my little cheat sheet. Wands are about inspiration, energy, enthusiasm, and action, which could also be a fire sign, you know, because action supports fire signs, so it could be an Aries, Leo, or Sag. This could be you, or it could be this, or I should say you could be that, because this is representing you, not somebody else, but you could be a fire sign as well. Okay, so right now in this reading, the railroad forecast long journey. And so when they say serious accident, I feel like that could be a lot of different things. That could be a death, that could be, you know, and then a robbery could be like that, you know, somebody stole something from you. It could be emotions, it could be many things. So let's just dive in. So these are the cards that I already pulled for you. They're from various decks. The decks will be below in the explanation in case you're curious. So let's get started. Ooh, and for some of you, man, work on your throat chakra. Woo! I believe Michael is the throat chakra. Let's see. I've been taking notes lately. I've been really trying to learn more about, a little bit about everything. So what did we say? Oh, I don't know if I did do this one yet. I think I started working on it and I didn't. But I want to say that it's Michael is the throat chakra. And that would make sense if it is, because Michael also represents fire, which is the Aries, Leo, and Sag. So, and it's the south, it's in the south, and also the south node, and the season is autumn. A lot of information, right? I've been learning. Ooh, I feel like I have a sneeze coming on, so I'll try and, okay. I went into my arm, don't worry. And no one's here but me. Okay, so number 2 is this is your defense. Okay, so this is you and this is your defense. That's interesting. Abundance. Enjoy the bounty of life. Your supply is unlimited and blessings are coming to you. So that's interesting that this is your defense. because this, I have a feeling this may even be a clarifier. So let me ask Spirit really quickly if this abundance card, or if this is this actually for 2? Is this a clarifier for 2? Okay. I felt like I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but everything happens for a reason, right? So we're going to put this next to you. Okay, so let's see. Number 2. This is your defense. This is your defense. This is your defense. This is your defense. Okay. Ooh, number 30. This is your defense. And this is about making a choice. It's interesting because it's the 2 and then it's 46, which is 10 and 12. And this is a 30, but I have a feeling that the 3 is going to mean something later on. Okay. So this is your defense, and I'm going to read the book. I haven't been called to read a lot of the books, but I'm going to read this one. 30. You're required to come to a decision now. You're faced with a dilemma or a fork in the road and must take a conscious choice regarding the next right action. Whatever that choice is, you must take responsibility for it, yet you needn't be afraid. You may not have all the answers right now, because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked and traveled a few more steps. Trust your intuition and ask for a sign from Spirit, and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one at this time. Life is always about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously, guided by intuition and Spirit. So I think that this is really interesting. So like your defense, your best defense right now, and whatever is like you're asking your question about in this Gypsy's magic spell, is your best defense is your intuition. And we're going to get some clarifiers on that, but let's keep moving in the numbers. Number 3, this is what you're afraid of. Okay, so this is the, I don't like to use fear-based words, but it's part of it. So it's like, what is the fear that's holding them back? Confidence. You're lacking confidence. But look at this Leo, another fire sign. Maybe you're a Leo. It's saying confidence is your key to success. And for some of you, you're a big fucking powerful lion. You're a big Leo. It's like, don't let anybody tell you which road to choose. Your abundance is your own. And I also feel like for some of you, the reason why this abundance card came out, I don't know if it's so much a clarifier for this specific card. I feel like this is something that we're going to keep coming back to. You are abundant in all areas of your life. I have a feeling you're somebody who just is really lucky, so to speak. My friend calls it good fortune. It's like, but I think you're somebody that is just really lucky. But the luck isn't that you're like, a pompous ass and things just beautifully happen to you. It's like, no, your abundance is that you are such a beautiful light. You're such a beautiful white light into the universe that things just naturally come to you. But sometimes that actually sparks, when this said here, that serious accident and nearby robbery, I feel like the accident is like when shit happens to you, it's usually not because of you. It's because you were with somebody that whatever, or somebody made a choice without telling you and now it affects you. Or, I'm hearing narcissist, like some of you, maybe you're, with a narcissist that keeps like, dragging you down, and it's like, you're like, which way should I go? And I feel like in this picture, they're saying both ways are really great. It's just that if you go this way, one thing will happen one way. And if you go the other way, it'll happen a different way. But you're always going to end up at the same result. But if you stay here, if you stay right here, with some of you, if you stay with this narcissist, if you stay with this person that keeps holding you back, then you're not going to be able to make any decisions because you're always going to be stuck in that fucking fork in the road. And you know what? I feel like they kind of like get off and like they get a lot of your abundance, but like, you're the one that's providing it. It's because of your good energy. It's like other people like have good fortune because of you, and that drains you. So that's why it feels, like a near-death experience, or it feels like a death sometimes, or it feels like you're being robbed, right? But don't you think it's interesting that two of the cards that you pull from different decks both have a pathway and both speak of a journey, right? And the number 12 is the year of 2020, really, because we started, the 12/12 portal started 12/12/19, but 2020 is the year where like everything's being peeled back, like we're, it's gross. And election years usually are, right? And people, it's like it's the end of one thing and the beginning of something else. And right now, if you're American, I mean, it's happening all over the world, but right now for America, we're like center stage with all the yuckiness that's happening. So, I can see where like maybe you're having a little struggle there. So, if you listen to your intuition, you're not going to have to struggle. What did I just hear? Oh, they said put this card back down. I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, you mean the one in my hand? Right? So your confidence, it's your lack of confidence that's holding you back from making a decision. But, as my one friend always says, shit or get off the pot, And also, I think this is really powerful because it's a new moon in Leo. So whether you're a Leo or not, it's like when the new moon in Leo happens, which will be, I don't have my calendar right now. I need to get a moon calendar just so I have it. You know what I mean? Like when the new moon is in Leo, I feel like this is going to be a powerful time for you to like make that decision. And we're going to get to that. Okay, so that's what you're afraid of. It's it's the lack of confidence that's holding you back. That's the fear. Number 4, this is what drives you. Number 4, this is what drives you. Okay, so this is my, I call it the Moonology Deck, but it's the Mind Body Makeover deck. And each section has a title. This one is called Healthy Body, number 7. On one side, we have what the muggle mind, the monkey minds, that's telling you that's not true. And then we have the higher self that's giving you like the truth bomb. So your monkey mind, your muggle is saying, I tend to have accidents or other life-threatening health problems. Hello, what did we just say? Oh my gosh, we were just talking about that, about serious accidents and robbery. Oh my gosh. Right? So you're somebody who is like, oh my gosh, my car got crashed. Or, oh my gosh, this happened to me. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. But your higher self is saying, I know what my purpose in life is. My faith in a higher power gives my life meaning and purpose. So they're saying, get out of this thought process of, the negativity. You've got like all of this. Look at on either side of you, you've got abundance and you've got many, many, opportunities in front of you. So you need to get out of your own head. Once you like focus on your life purpose, then it gives your higher power, like it helps instill that confidence. It gives the faith and the confidence that you need to like fulfill your life's meaning and purpose. But, it's like one of those things, like you have to have one to have the other. You can't do it by yourself. And yes, you can, because I'm like, sometimes these cards are hard to balance, but sometimes they're actually not too bad. So let's put this one here. We know the Leo means confidence, right? So that's what drives you. Right? What did you say, Spirit? Oh, that your faith and your higher power is what drives you. It's what's keeping you going. Does that make sense? You probably already knew that, right? You probably already thought that before I said it. Okay, so then number 5, this is what you are left with. Okay, so after everything we just said, this is what you are left with. This is what you are left with. This is, 2 together. Did you see that? They like jumped into my hand. Oh my gosh, this one. Okay. I am one with everyone on the planet. Once you tune into your intuition and once you decide to leave that, energy behind, whether it's a person or people, and, plural, these narcissistic controllers that are trying to control your life, that are trying to drain your energy, once you can do that, you will be one with everyone on the planet. But right now, you're taking on all their energy. You can't even make any choices for yourself or go down your path. You've lost all faith in yourself because you are too concerned about what's happening with everybody else. And on the back of this, it says, every time I meditate or do a visualization for healing, I am connecting with like-minded people all over the world. So you may even want to take a screenshot of that. Pause it. And then take a screenshot. And do that with this one too. And the next card says, the moment I start to change, the moment I am willing to bring good into my life, the universe responds in kind. What did I just say? Right? Spirit just said it. Once you make the decision, then, it's like you have to choose. Spirit cannot, we have free will here. They can't do it for us. We have to make the choices. Then they'll be there to support us. They'll be there to they're saying, take that risk, jump out of the bird babies, jump out of the nest, baby bird, they'll be there to catch you. And use this affirmation. I choose a bright future now. Right? Again, about choosing your future. You're choosing it. Right? And I love how they put it on the pyrite, which is all about money and finances and and good luck. I don't want to take the pathway out of there for you, but you can see it, right? Okay. So then number 6 is, this is what the future will bring. This is what the future will bring. This is what the future will bring. Oh, so this is part of it. So they're saying, if you speak with love, which is the number 32, which is the number 5, which is about change. And look at that. This is what the future will bring. A good love, a solid relationship, a solid friendship. The spider's coming back in. Yes, like reaching out. It doesn't have to be male, female, or whatever. It's like this could be a lover, this could be a family, this could be a friend. But, speak with love. The future is, we are made from love. We've just been diverted for so long, But look at that person. That's like a guardian angel looking out for them, steering the boat so that they don't have to worry about it, right? They're looking after them so they can just relax and be in that boat, live in their abundance. And so this is what the future will bring, okay? And then the last one is, this is what brings you back down to the ground. This is what gets you grounded. Look at that. I should have known. Imagination. So maybe some of you are spending too much time taking care of everybody else, but you're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of you. This card says, envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. Yes. Use your imagination. Pick up that project that you were working on before. Stop giving everybody else your abundant love, creativity, nature. You're giving so much to everybody else that you don't have anything left for yourself. And that's why you've lost confidence, because if we stop doing something for a while, it's like we didn't really forget how to do it, but we forget how to care for ourselves. We forget that we're important. And that's why they wanted you to see the word confidence, right? Like, I keep wanting to touch this like it's a touch screen. I'm using my laptop. Anyway, you hear where I'm going with this? So let's get some more clarifiers to wrap this up. Okay, so any other messages, Spirit, that you'd like to say? And you can direct us to where it's going. Any more messages? Oh, look at this, number 10. You're not afraid. They said you've come over bigger obstacles than this. You've actually dealt with bigger narcissists than this before, right? Like they're kind of like knocked that down, which is really interesting. Like you've dealt with people before who have knocked down your love. They've knocked down your self, possession. They've knocked down your abundance. But they're saying learn from this karmic relationship, so that you can have the bright future that you came here to do. You can conquer that. That's like an imagery of David and Goliath, right? All he had was a slingshot, but it only takes one really good hit, right? So protect yourself. You're not afraid. And this goes with the confidence too, right? And this fear thing. You're not afraid. It's like some programming that someone told you're afraid, or you have somebody who's been telling you for so long that you're not worthy, or you're not talented, or you're not gifted, or whatever. When I'm here to tell you, yeah, you are. More messages from Spirit, please. Compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Yes. Have compassion for you, sweetheart. Have compassion for you. You deserve all the good in the world. You have this bright future ahead of you. Don't let these energies, these negative energies hold you back, you know? Even though this is you, I feel like the darkness is like, the black is good because, you know, people are like, oh, black's not a color. I'm like, yes, it is. And it's a good protection color. That's been coming up a lot lately. I just saw a reading on that with Rosology. But, you know, also it's the wands. So it's like, you know, you are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to get on this fucking train and ride as far away from these negative people as possible, even if it's your parents, even if it's your best friend. You guys, I've lost so many family and friends. So have compassion for yourself, right? Speak with love to yourself and others. Have compassion for yourself and others, even the ones that wronged you. You know, I like lashed out the other day at someone that I felt wronged me, but then I realized but it was the way I said it and the way I did it. I was like not being compassionate. I was being so awful. And, you know, and then when I went to apologize to them, and I sincerely meant to apologize to them, then they kind of did something shitty again. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, why did I even fucking apologize? And then even after they left again, like now it's been like 24 hours and I'm like, yeah, I still, you know, because it's programming. It's going to take a while for us to get out of that because it's so easy to fall back into it. My mama used to have this great analogy about in the olden days when, you know, wagons were invented, right? So she said, you know, we didn't have paved roads. We had, you know, dirt roads. But when it would rain and the you know, wheels, the round wheels on these, you know, trailers or whatever you want to call them, they would, I'm like losing my mind, they would make these pivots, these divots in the road, right? And after time, then it's like it would dry and then it would dry like that. Well, if someone is going down that road with their horse and buggy, when the wheels get to a certain point, it's like, it's easier for them to go in the alignment of the wheels. If they go into like where the wheels are dug in and then they try to veer off course, they're not going to be able to do so. They you know, it's like they have to pull themselves out of it. Does that make sense? And it's kind of the same thing with our brain. Our brain has this programming, and so it's going to take a while for us to like deprogram our brains and to get our brains to veer off course. Oh, I just heard, oh no, we have one candle going. I'm like, our candle went out. We have one. Okay, we have a few more. So you get that analogy, right? So they're having me put the imagination back down. I didn't realize I had picked it up. And the last card is, don't forget your magic. Don't forget you are magic. You are magic. We are magic. We are made up of magic. And it says, make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. Don't let anybody steal your thunder. Don't let anybody steal your magic. And don't let anybody tell you who you are, ever. You dress the way you want to. You look the way you want to. You speak your truth. And you go down whichever path feels right at the moment. Because we are going to continually have different paths to forge down. We are continually going to have choices. But take that time to get quiet. Take that time to focus on your choice, so that you can make a righteous choice that's right for you and not for anybody else. You hear me? You're pure magic, you guys. Pure magic. Oh, thanks so much for coming by, you guys. Please subscribe. Click, you know, I'm so tired now. I'm going on almost 3 hours straight. But you know all the things to do. There's information below. I have a thing for donations if you feel so inclined. If not, just please send me a nice prayer of light and love and healing for myself, yourself, and the planet. And I'd like to thank all of our spirit guides, our animal guides, and all of those who came here today. We are in gratitude for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I thank you for being a part of this tribe. Don't ever stop being yourself. I love you just the way you are. Be who you are. Have a blessed day. I'll see you soon. Bye.